This is funny, ain't it?
What's that?
There's no weather report in the paper.
Maybe we ain't gonna have any.
Must be the spray cans, you know that? The weatherman can't see through all that underarm deodorant up in the clouds. Well, precinct, your manner.
Look at this, Harris. Now we gotta pull all the catalytic converters off the squad cars.
Oh, wow, we just put them on there.
Gotta take them off. Seems they're eating up too much gas.
Hey, look, what's more important, preventing smog or conserving energy?
Last month, America wanted to live. This month, it wants to go to the mountains. Is that guy still in there?
Oh, that dude is tearing the bathroom up, man. He makes $22 an hour. He makes more than the commissioner.
Got a more important job than the commissioner.
Hey! Yeah. Hey, man, how much longer you gonna be in there?
I don't know, but you're in pretty bad shape there. You got salt water coming out of the sink.
Hey, look, where are we getting salt water from?
I don't know, but it's turning brown.
Oh, well, then it must be from the Atlantic Ocean, because the Hudson River is black.
Hey, I also found a hat in your toilet.
Finders keepers.
Hey, you all right?
I'm getting dizzy going up and downstairs all morning. The only toilet that works in this building is on the first floor.
How many times you been up and down?
Let me see, I had 3 cups of coffee. And, so that's, 5 trips.
You know, you better have a doctor look at your kidneys.
I did see a doctor. He said it would be easier to fix the toilet.
I really am sorry to be causing such trouble.
Yeah.
Get over there, will you?
What do you got here?
He's a phony priest, Barney. He was out in front of the bank hustling Bibles.
Hustling Bibles? You sure?
Well, he didn't have any ID, Barney, and no permit. And if there's anything that ticks me off, it's a guy that uses God to rip off the public.
All I did was offer Bibles in exchange for a small donation to the church.
Tell him what church.
What church?
The Church of the Street.
Pardon me, I'm not familiar with that particular denomination.
It's non-sectarian for all of those whose inclination is to pray informally, out there.
In the street. Barney, he's operating a floating church. Look at this. Gideon Bibles, huh? The, Hotel Brevoort. The Algonquin Hotel. The Hi-Hat Inn, Tuckahoe, New York.
Wherever people wish to worship.
Where'd you get these Bibles, Mr. What do they call you?
Father Paul.
They can't call you father because you're not a Catholic priest.
But I am a father.
I guess that means you have children.
Exactly.
Have a seat, Father. Listen, Warjo, go slow, huh? I mean, better check it out. I'm not even too sure there's been any laws broken.
Barney probably swiped them Bibles.
They could have been donated.
He's making a con out of religion.
Are you sure?
The Church of the Street, Barn?
Nowadays, people need a lot of help. Better check it out. See if there is such a place as the Church of the Street somewhere.
Oh, Barn? Where do I look?
Try the yellow pages.
Over the page, Father Paul.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to see the man in charge.
Oh, that'll be Captain Miller, but he's a little busy right now. Will you take a seat?
Thank you. I'm going downstairs to the bathroom. Anyone need anything downstairs on the first floor? 12th Precinct Fish. Yes, ma'am. Describe the screen. Quickly.
I had a meeting this morning. The Internal Revenue Service.
How'd you make out?
I won.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to prison, and they're going to let me live, but very poorly. What's the priest doing here?
I don't know. I guess capital punishment is getting big again.
Well, I say he's not a priest.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I say he's a rip-off artist. But Barney told me I gotta check him out, so that's what I'm doing.
You know something? If you're not a priest, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And if you are a priest, good morning, Father.
Can I help you?
No, thanks. Can I help you?
No, thank you. Everything that can be done has been done. Any coffee left?
You're sure a glutton for punishment.
How long are you going to be fooling around in there?
Fooling around? Fooling around? That is the worst bathroom I've ever been in. You know that?
I don't remember what it looks like.
Sure. You know, you guys are always making jokes about Plummer. But when you're in trouble, who's the first guy you call, huh? Who?
The guy in the cage.
Looks like Captain Miller's going to be tied up for a while. Are you sure there isn't something I can do for you, Mr.
Weber, George Weber. Yes, I'd like some warrants issued.
Who do you want arrested?
Well, first of all, the governor of the state of New York.
Oh, you too?
Have there been other requests?
Oh, 2-3 times a week.
Well, I've got a list here of accomplices before and after the fact.
You know, Fish, I expect to pay for the privilege of living in this great country of ours, but I will not be entirely disallowed.
I didn't let you deduct anything?
Not one of my entertainment expenses, but on behalf of the New York Police Department.
Who did you entertain in behalf of the New York Police Department?
Fish, I have access to certain avenues of information that have to be entertained once in a while.
Governor, the mayor, city council.
That's what he said. I was going to call Bellevue, but you said never jump to conclusions. Check it out.
Did you?
I would have if it was just the mayor. But the governor, that's big time. That's more your level.
You're right.
Hey, man, aren't you a little warm with that coat on?
Yes, a little.
Well, look, why don't you take it off? You know, make yourself comfortable.
All right. Thank you.
Sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Weber.
I'm Captain Miller. Don't get up. Mr. Weber, that appears to be a belt of dynamite sticks you're wearing?
That's what it is, Captain Miller, and this is a detonator. 2 or 3 ounces of pressure, and the belt will explode, and I dare say, blow up the whole building.
The building goes up, you go up with it.
That's the whole point.
What would that accomplish?
Just maybe somebody would pay attention to me.
I'm paying attention. Aren't we all paying attention? So why don't you just put down the detonator and take off the belt?
No!
Well, then wear it. Wear it. It looks wonderful.
You put your faith in somebody and they just make a fool of you. I am sick and tired of being lied to and robbed and poisoned.
That's the wrong way, Mr. Weber. First, try a divorce.
I'm not married. I'm talking about politics.
It's the wrong way there, too, Mr. Weber. There are elections.
Barney's right, Mr. Weber. You can't put someone else in office if you blow up your vote.
Elections, protests, demonstrations, these are cries in the wind. Don't you breathe the air out there?
We try to keep it down to a minimum, Mr.
Well, then read the papers. Millions of people doomed to extinction. Trapped, starved, no clean water, living in filth.
I agree with you. The world's in terrible condition.
I'm talking about New York City.
We try to set an example.
Does anybody care? Does anybody do anything?
We care. Don't we care, Phil?
We care.
Now, we're going to do something. Mr. Weber, we're going to do something right now. Sergeant Yamana, I want you to type out a warrant for the arrest of the governor of New York State. Chano, you take the mayor.
Right, Barney. Let me take the mayor.
All right. You guys split up the city council. Harris, I want you to get on the phone to the district attorney's office. You tell them we want action.
Right. Captain Miller, you and I both know that you can't really arrest all those people.
Now, don't be such a pessimist, Mr. Weber. How we doing, fellas? Come on, how we doing?
Well, I just reached the DA's office. He said they're gonna move, Barney.
See, Mr. Weber, don't give up.
Mr. Weber, we're getting a lot of action for you, Mr. Weber.
Oh, sure.
Barney, I'd like to leave the room.
So would I.
It's the coffee. It's the coffee, Barney.
Mr. Weber, I wonder if it would be possible for Sergeant Fish to use the men's room downstairs.
I don't suppose it makes any difference.
It does to me. I have a condition, Mr. Weber, and between the coffee and your...
Here it is, Barney. A warrant for the governor's arrest. It's all in there. The violence, corruption, thievery. He'll get 5 to 10, I swear.
Here's my warrant. Yeah, here's 3 more.
I got the rest of them, Barney. This is going to shake them up pretty good downtown, Mr. Weber. You watch.
See, Mr. Weber? We are convinced that you are committed to a course of action, and we are going to do everything we can to help you. Now, I have one request. I would like to clear the building.
That's all right with me. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Oh, good. Fine. Okay, you guys clear the upstairs. Challenge, get that plumber out of the job, will you?
Barney, he ain't fixed it yet.
Take the first floor.
Anyway.
Hey, plumber, come on, get out of here.
Hey, I'll be through in a little.
Come on now, come on.
Oh, come on, huh? I mean, you guys are all alike. The minute you go into golden time, somebody pulls the plug.
There's a guy here who's got a load of dynamite.
Oh, listen. You gotta use a snake. You'll ruin the pipes with dynamite.
He's gonna blow himself up. You wanna go with him? Huh?
Oh, my God. Just let me get my tools, huh?
Hurry up.
Okay? Could you wait a minute? I just want to get my tools.
Excuse me, if everybody's leaving.
Wojo, come here. Take Father Paul and take him over to the 270.
Father Paul.
Captain Miller, I'd like for the priest to stay. Would you mind?
Well, me? What for?
I'd like you to hear my confession.
I heard you when you were talking to him.
I'd like to have final absolution.
You got it.
Thank you. Mr. Weber, this guy ain't no priest. I mean, his absolution ain't worth the paper it's printed on.
Well, I don't have very much time. I guess I'll just have to risk it.
You're gonna be all right. You want a Bible?
You got any shame?
It's on me.
Oh, thank you. Why don't you find yourself a new Dodge? I mean, you know, religion is sacred to some people.
I got about $140 coming to me.
Send us a bill here to the station house.
Yeah, but suppose it ain't here.
Mr. Buckman, your life is in danger. I mean, money can't be that important to you.
If it wasn't important, I wouldn't have become a plumber.
Mr. Buckman, we don't have $140.
Huh?
See, we have to make out a requisition. And then it has to go down to police headquarters. And then it goes to the controller's office. If the controller's office okays it, then it goes to borough accounting. Then it comes back to me for my approval and signature, and then finally they get paid. That's the way the system works.
Yes, I know.
Barney, the building's clear.
All right, take off.
Good luck, Mr. Weber. Barney?
You go, I'll stay.
Barney? You don't have to stay.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Mr. Weber said he doesn't want anyone hurt. So as long as I'm here, nothing's going to happen, right?
This Bible is in Hebrew.
They're downstairs, man. The bomb squad and the all right. Emergency service unit.
I want to try to convince Mr. Weber that there's a better way. Also, I confess I've grown fond of this building.
Captain, you better go too.
In a minute.
Barney, you're not going to convince him. Look at his eyes, huh?
Take off!
You know, Mr. Weber, you got one heck of a lot of nerve. I mean, if you want to knock yourself off, fine. But why don't you find yourself an empty lot or a condemned building or someplace where you can't hurt anybody? What'd you have to come over here for? You got one heck of a lot of nerve.
That detonator may be sensitive to loud noises.
You got one heck of a lot of nerve. Barney.
Captain, he just doesn't understand.
Sergeant Amangual is a very emotional man. He has a high regard for human life. He doesn't like to see it wasted.
Well, that's how I feel. That's why I'm doing this, don't you see?
No, I'm trying to understand your position, but I must admit I'm a little confused, Mr. Weber.
Corruption, treachery, fighting in the streets, pollution. There's nowhere to hide.
You're not supposed to hide. You're supposed to try to make it better.
No, it's too late.
No, it's never too late.
It's all over for us, Captain.
It's not all over. That's the easy way. Survival is tough, but it goes on. All it takes is a little determination, a little courage, and a little faith.
Faith in what?
In human nature, in science, in technology, in man's initiative.
What about that sea of sludge waiting out there 20 miles off the coast of Long Island, breeding every disease known to mankind? In a few years, it'll be here. There's nothing we can do about it.
Also helps to have a little faith in the Gulf Stream.
It's hopeless.
It's not hopeless. It's not hopeless. Stop saying that. I mean, if you don't have any faith, you might as well give it all up. Hold it. Let me rephrase that.
Captain, you'd better get out of here. I want to go through with this commitment while I still have the nerve.
Okay. If you feel the world is coming to an end, if you feel we're all facing final extinction, and you don't have the guts to do something about it, you just push that button. Huh? Just give me a couple of minutes to get out of here.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
Forget about us, Mr. Weber. Forget what I said about this building. Listen, maybe we'll get a new building with some decent plumbing for a change.
I thought Mr. Buckman fixed it.
If you don't have any faith in mankind, you have faith in plumbers. Just forget about it, Mr. Weber. Forget about us. Don't worry about us. If this is the only commitment you're stupid enough to make, push it.
You don't have to be insulting.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, walk out. I'm only willing to sacrifice myself for the good of humanity. What do I need with a little courtesy, huh?
Don't be so thin-skinned.
Thin-skinned? Thin-skinned, you call me? A man comes up here out of honesty and concern, offering to blow himself to pieces, and you can't even control your temper.
I'm sorry, I got a little annoyed. I had a lot of things go wrong earlier in the day.
Forget about it. Just another disappointment. But I thought you understood what I was talking about. Oh, you put your faith in somebody, you just get another kick in the behind.
It's not true.
True? I'll tell you what's true. None of you worth saving.
It's not true.
Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out. One day you'll lay your life on the line and see who appreciates it. Nobody, that's who. You'll find out you can't trust anybody to do anything.
I'll take my chances.
Oh, big deal. I'm wearing the belt. What chances? You're just like everybody else, a lot of talk and no action. You're just another coward.
A coward? A coward, huh? Now you've gone too far, Mr. Weber. Give me the belt. Come on, give me the belt.
Okay. Oh, okay, wise guy. Oh, baby, are you in for it now? Wait till they start to kick you around. Wait till they mock you, disappoint you, tear your heart out. Wait till they refuse to answer your calls. Boom!
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, Chano. It's okay.
Have you got an aspirin?
Yeah, hold on. Chano, would you send somebody up to defuse this thing? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Chano, everything's okay. Up here, everything's okay. Out there, things could be a lot better.
Hey, there's salt water coming out of that cooler. Anything I can do, Barney?
Fish, do you know that there's a sea of sludge off the coast of Long Island, 40 miles square?
Yeah, I read about it.
And it's coming to New York. It'll be here in a few years. Doesn't that worry you?
A little.
A little? What's going to happen when it washes up on the beaches?
Barney, I can't do anything about that.
But those are terrifying consequences.
I know, but I never go to the beaches anyway. So many women running.
Hey, how are you, Fish?
Good morning. I feel fine. Unless there's some sort of a disease to forget someone's name once in a while.
Oh, it happens all the time.
It came right back to me. Bernice. But she wants to make a big deal out of it.
You forgot Bernice's name.
Only for a second. I know who she was. I just couldn't think of what to call her. Now she says I'm losing the rest of my faculties.
How many of those checks you got? 13, totaling $374.30. Well, why would a guy pass out that much paper for so little cash? Well, he's crooked, but he's not greedy.
Peculiarities? I haven't got any.
Everybody's got peculiarities.
I'm sorry, I haven't got
Come on, Nathan, let's have them.
No, what's going on?
He's being uncooperative, Captain. I mean, he won't answer any of the questions right.
Why don't you make it easy on yourself, Mr. Levine? Cooperate with Detective Wojciechowicz and answer the questions.
Peculiarities. I sleep in the nude.
Tell the doctor I apologize. I just forgot, yeah. Today, 2 o'clock. Okay, thanks. I don't remember making that appointment. Maybe I am going out of my mind.
Yeah, when you're getting older, that's the first thing that goes.
Not according to Bernice.
Good morning.
Hi, Liz.
Hi. Hi, Woj. Hi, Mike. You're looking very well.
Yeah, I'm using a new soap.
Do you like it better than the old one?
Well, the old one got about the size of a dime. I got about that thin. Well, it got very difficult when you got the two pieces together. You couldn't get any lather.
Nice to see you, Mike.
Bingo. We got a make on that paper hanger. It's Harold Polanski, and I got 3 possible addresses. Let's go.
I'm on a new case. Social services called this morning. Now, in case I don't get home in time, this is David's piano teacher.
Okay. Where are they sending you today?
South Bronx.
South Bronx. That's a rough area.
The Rockefellers in East Hampton don't need me.
Have you checked?
No. Snap judgment.
What kind of case you got?
Oh, it's a mother whose son just got out of prison.
Ex-convict.
Oh, Barney. And he can't get a job, and she has 2 other sons, both involved in street gangs, and both dropouts, and the husband drinks.
Couldn't they give you something easy once in a while? Like an unwed mother?
They save the biggies for the best.
Well, the South Bronx, that's no picnic there. Gang wars, arson.
Well, I admit I'm a little nervous, but it's a challenge. I mean, I know it's dangerous, but it's stimulating all at the same time. My blood pressure hasn't been this high in years.
Thanks.
Oh, I mean, in the daytime.
You know, you kiss good for a social worker.
Oh, thanks. My field supervisor will be very pleased. She asked me if I had good relations with the police.
What did you tell her?
I said, whenever I could.
Listen, give me a call when you get up there.
Oh, Barney, it's not necessary. I'll be perfectly all right.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Give me a call anyway. Huh?
Oh, Barney.
Take care, Miss Moe.
I will, Woj. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Oh, look at this. You see? You save all the little pieces. And after about a year, you melt them together, and you get a whole new bar of soap.
Oh, nice to see you again, Mike. Bye. Oh, thank you, Fish. How's Bernice?
Fine, thank you.
Oh, give her my love. Oh, and tell her I'm sorry I forgot her birthday yesterday.
Oh.
Okay, just sit here at the desk again. Oh, hey, Inspector.
How you making out, will you?
All right.
Hey, well, if it isn't Nathan the bagman.
Hello, Inspector.
Hey, Nate. What'd they nail you for this time? Same old thing?
Policy.
Yeah. Well, a leper will never change his stripes.
Hello? Day old bakery? What do you got laying around that says, Happy Birthday, Bernice?
Peculiarities? Sleeps in the nude. What's with sleeps in the nude?
That's his statement.
Oh, come on, that ain't peculiarities. Peculiarities is if a man goes around collecting women's shoes, something in that line. You don't do nothing like that, do you, then? Nah, of course not. He may be a bag man, but he ain't a weird bag man. World Series, 1936. Look at this. Huh? Carl Hubble. Lou Gehrig. Malott. I think I was at that World Series.
No kidding. That was before I was born.
No kidding.
Happy birthday, Barney. You ought to be able to shove in a C in there somewhere.
Hey, Inspector, how are you?
Oh, I just stopped by to see you.
Come on inside.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me, Inspector. You got my baseball.
Oh, which hand? Old head and ball trick, huh? Hey, you want to sell it, would you?
Nope.
I'd give you $20 for it.
No, thanks.
Yeah. I thought Polish people like the bowl. Barney, that Wojo, is he a good cop?
Wojo? Yeah.
Well, you don't know much about human nature.
Mike, hold my calls for a few minutes, will you? If Liz calls, put her right through, though. Right.
Barney, I gotta talk to you.
Sure. What can I do for you?
I've been offered this job with the parole board, Barney, and I kind of been debating in my mind as to whether I should take it or not.
Parole board? You should be flattered by the offer.
I am, Barney. All them important cases to discuss, you know, and evaluating the pros and the cons. And all them people in jail filing their petitions to get out again, you know, join us in this society. I don't know, I guess I gotta take it, Barney. I mean, somebody's gotta keep them firemen behind bars, right? What do you think?
I think we need you more right here, Inspector. Oh, yeah. The more you think about it. Hello. Oh, thanks, Mike. Hello, Liz? Okay, you got there okay. I just wanted to... I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Who's arguing in the back there? The brothers having an argument. Wonderful. All right, listen, as long as you're... Did something break, Liz? Liz, are you okay? What's going on there? Was that glass smashing, Liz? Liz, are you okay? Look, Liz! Phone went dead.
Yeah, I guess maybe you're right, Barney.
Call the 5-1 in the Bronx. Tell them I want to talk to the watch commander.
The Department of Social Services says she was sent up here.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Barney, I got the 5-1 on line 2.
Tell them I'll take it in my office.
Thanks for the nice powwow, Barney.
Right.
I'll give you $25.
No thanks.
Why not, Wojo?
Well, I'm just used to having it on my desk, Inspector.
Huh? Come on, what's it to you?
Just don't want to sell it, Inspector.
Okay, Wojciechowicz. That's the way you want it? You know, sometimes a man could use a friend among the higher-ups in this little New York City department of ours. Yeah. See you around, man.
All right. Inside. Stand over here, Mr. Lansky.
Big deal of a lousy little baseball for crying out loud.
Take a seat over there, please.
What's the difference standing, sitting? I don't care anymore.
Man, this dude's got checks from banks in 32 states, including Hawaii.
Huh?
Yeah, and look at this. The blank checks match the checks he's cashed.
Well, looks like we got you, Mr. Polanski. What is that? Something new? It's the story of my life. Yeah? They sit up there laughing at me. The break givers, the gods of men. Nothing for you today, Polanski. We got a load and no luck for you again. Yeah.
You sure? No 1052 at that address. Well, my wife went up there on a case, Frank, and I got a call from her and... Look, would you do me a favor and send a car around? I know you don't like to go in there. I'd consider it a personal favor, Frank. Thanks. Yeah.
Are you Nathan Levine?
I'm one of them.
Yeah, we got him up here. They got his bail ticket.
Yeah, okay.
I gotta go see a doctor. I got a 2 o'clock appointment.
It's only 1:45.
I also gotta pick up a cake.
Hope it ain't serious.
It will be if they don't find a seat.
No, I mean, I hope whatever you got ain't serious.
Of course it's serious. Everything that happens to you immediately following the age of puberty is serious.
Really?
You'll find out when you get there.
Hey, Harris. Yeah. Fingerprints check out.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to take some new pictures. You gained some weight since the last ones, eh, Mr. Polanski?
Yeah, it's killed. Makes you eat like a pig. I used to be taller, too.
Hey, man, I called over to Manhattan South. They said they'll pick him up later.
Okay. Hey, hurry it up, will you, Mr. Polanski?
Easy. I'm not used to signing my own name.
These checks are really great, man. He's an artist, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a curse. I wanted to go into politics. I am a student of American history. You know, when I was a kid, I used to dream about signing the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, yeah?
Now I can. You want to tell Captain Miller we got his wife
Never
here?
mind, thank you. I'll tell him myself. Hello.
You all right?
Well, I am a little embarrassed.
Over what?
5 policemen walked into that room and removed me as if I were a brownie in a forest fire.
I'm sorry. I thought you were in trouble. All that shouting on the phone, that furniture breaking.
There was a family discussion and somebody was making a point.
What about the glass breaking?
There are 2 sides to every discussion.
Who pulled the phone out of the wall?
Everyone. It was the only thing they all agreed on.
What are they fighting about?
Oh, the older son, the ex-convict, can't get a job, and he was taking it out on the family, the furniture.
Well, I'm sorry.
My first day on a new case, and I'm preempted.
Yeah.
Barney, excuse me. Here's the sheet on Polanski. No question about it. He's the guy that's been passing all the bad paper around.
3 arrests, 2 convictions.
He's a very talented fellow. Look at the signatures he made for me.
Hey, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, John Hancock. They look perfect.
They are perfect.
Why does he keep getting into trouble?
Well, you see, he goes on parole, he can't get a job, writes a bad check, goes back in again. Gets on parole again, can't get a job.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, a man like that, I mean, this could be an artist. Of course, I haven't heard of anyone starting out writing the signature first and then doing the painting.
It's not just ex-convicts. Everybody's having a tough time getting a job today.
That's true.
Who's your ex-convict?
He's a lathe operator. Got his training in the machine shop at Sing Sing.
Do you have any real experience?
Are you kidding? He was doing 10 to life.
Those are real credentials. All right, I'll see you home about 6, huh?
7.
7?
7. I have another call to make.
Where is it this time? The Middle East?
You really want to know?
No. I'm going to try and do it cold turkey. Fish. What'd the doctor say?
He said I was at the time of my life when my body is going through changes.
Sounds like menopause.
It is menopause. I caught it from Bernice.
It's not giving you all that much trouble, is it?
Well, just a little difficulty in remembering things.
What's the serial number of your gun?
186-693-4788.
See? You got priorities. You're more selective about your memory. You remember things that are important to you.
You think so?
Sure. What's your anniversary?
Sometime in February.
The 12th.
The 12th. Right. 186-693-4788. Pretty good.
Polanski.
Yeah.
Social services never been able to help you with a job, has it?
Nobody has ever done anything for me.
Well, if you're ever lucky enough to get paroled again, give me a call.
Am I a cop? Cops do not help ex-cons.
Maybe, but you're in luck. I happen to have a wife who's a social worker.
Well, I happen to have a brother. He owns a machine shop in Huntington, Long Island. Polanski's Foundry and Ironworks. He's making money hand over fist. You think he'd help me? Forget it. He would help anybody in the world except me. Right? Right.
Huntington, Long Island.
Right.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Who wants Clark Gable?
Hi, Barney.
Oh, Inspector.
Barney, I took your good advice to heart. You'll be happy to know that I decided to stay here right where I am. You and all your men on the old firing line.
We would have missed you, Inspector.
Ah, I would have missed you, too. Most of you.
Excuse me a minute.
Yeah,
got a phone call to make.
Go ahead, man. Well, Matt, see you around.
Here, Inspector.
Inspector Luger?
Yes? What is it, Detective Wojo Howitz?
I've decided to change my mind about the ball.
What ball? What that? Forget it, son. I put it completely out of my head. I'm not interested in buying a ball.
Well, I'm not talking about selling it to you. I'm talking about giving it to
Look,
you.
don't sweet talk me with that soft soap, Wojo, because it... You what?
Giving it to you.
You made you got it? Well, that's darn decent of you, Wojie. I hardly know. What?
Hey,
huh?
Inspector, it means a lot more to you than it does to me.
That's true. How softy you. Saul Hubble, Lou Gehrig, John Hancock.
Was he with the Giants?
No, he was one of the original Yankees.
Yeah, you're telling the infielder, right? Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3 strikes two out.
Look at this. A little present from our forger friend. The Declaration of Independence.
Is the ink dry yet?
Barely.
Hey, is his John Hancock as good as the one he did for me?
He didn't use John Hancock. He used Harold Polanski.
It's not fair. Give a man a manicure, and right away he thinks you're a hooker. Filthy creep. I mean, he really made me mad.
Well, I know how you feel, Miss Luana.
I gotta get back to the barber shop or I'll lose my job.
Okay, as soon as the judge sets bail, you can make arrangements.
Do I get my stuff back?
Everything but the scissors.
Look, why don't you be honest about it? We already got you on possession. Burglary is only a couple of years more.
I never robbed nobody. I found the stuff in an alley. I figured someone threw them out.
These furs are worth $12,000.
It's a very good neighborhood.
You got any more booking slips?
I ran out. I'm using my personal stationery. Help yourself.
Bernice and Phil.
Just cross us off. I did a long time ago.
Look at this. Wilson, DeLuca, and Feldman. Gone.
Killed?
Laid off.
God, that's worse.
You can expect more if the city doesn't get some more money soon. What do you got for BCI?
Get a cage full. What took you so long?
There are only 6 of us downstairs. We had 14 guys laid off in the past 2 weeks.
It's over 2,000 cops all over the city.
It ain't gonna be safe out there in them streets.
Now with 2,000 unemployed cops running around loose. Come on, let's go.
You know, once upon a time when you would cross Washington Square, you used to be able to hear birds singing. Nowadays, you know what you hear? Stick 'em up, stop thief, help police. I'm telling you, everybody's going crazy out there. Yeah? I get nervous coming to work now. And I'm a cop.
Hey, John, pick up line 3, and I gotta get your signature on these reports.
No, and look, a man has to stop, take a breath, and regain his perspective. I got it now. Well, Prison Detective, Sergeant Amengual speaking.
Hey, the mayor's going to be meeting with state officials to obtain additional funds to prevent further layoffs.
Oh, man, they won't get no more money.
Why not?
Well, look, man, think of it this way. If you were the government and I was New York City, would you loan me any money?
How much?
Hey, man, they already closed down 3 fire stations. They could do the same thing to us.
Not as long as there's more crimes and fires. You see, the thing is that people commit crimes today to eat, but people don't set fires to eat.
They do. They want something hot.
It's all right by you, Fish, but that's because you got seniority. You can say that.
Yeah. I also got gout and gallstones. It's part of the deal.
No, they can't go strictly by seniority, man. They gotta have some young blood on the job.
Well, then how are they going to decide who goes and who stays?
Don't you? They got a guy downtown who's gonna be saying eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
That means I'm next. Doctor. Doctors never get laid off. It's not dangerous. And when somebody calls you in the middle of the night and says, hey, man, I'm in trouble, get over here right away, you get to say no and hang up.
You tell me you want to go through life telling people to stick their tongue out at you?
Hey, they do it anyway.
Oh, you were meant to be a cop just like me. Never mind.
No, man, people aren't meant to be anything. You are whatever you make of yourself.
Hey, no. That's where you're wrong, and I'm going to prove it to you. Now, look, I could have been anything in this world that I wanted to be because I happen to be a very intelligent person. But what am I? A cop. There you are. Well, Prison Detective, Sergeant Amengual speaking. Oh, right? Right, okay, we'll be right down. Okay, Harris, let's roll. Trouble on Wall Street and no squad cars available.
Did you say positively we'd be there?
That's my job, man, you know. I mean, you can afford to loaf on the job, but I happen to be a minority.
I should have been a doctor.
Yeah, me too. Hey, we're out of matrons. You're gonna have to hold Lizzie Borden here for a while till we get somebody to transfer her downtown.
Oh, when do I get to use the phone? I have to call the barber shop.
Right now. You get one call.
You have nice hands. You shouldn't bite your nails.
Yeah, well, I didn't used to. Stay tensed up on a job like this, you know? Seems like the last couple of months...
Hello, Miss Cavelli?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, this is Dorothy Lamotta, Miss Cavelli. Yeah, I'm still at the police station. I know. I'm very embarrassed about the whole thing. Well, you could be a little understanding. After all, it's the first time in my life I've ever stabbed anyone. Hello? Mr. Cavelli? I've been fired.
Oh, yeah? Well, there's a lot of that going around.
Then you a couple of men. I've lost 22 uniforms and 3 plain clothes already. Right now I've got less firepower than PS 86. How many you lost over the 2-7? Really? McCarthy? McCarthy's a captain. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Barney, Department of Personnel on line 2.
Once I gave a carpenter a manicure who only had 7 fingers.
Oh, yeah? Must have saved him a couple of bucks, huh?
Oh, I charged him the full price. The way I feel, I'm a person with a special ability. I have a set price. You can't go by the finger.
Fascinating.
My God, those are beautiful. Are they yours?
I'm a cop lady, not a duke.
Whose are they?
They're mine.
Would you mind if I tried one on?
Help yourself.
This is really gorgeous. Oh, I never felt anything like this.
You were born to wear mink.
Thank you. What are you going to do with them?
Well, I was going to sell them. I got nobody to give them to.
What a shame. We got lovely hands.
He should have kept them in his pocket.
Okay, over there.
Hi there. Okay, hold it there.
I'm a college graduate. Did I tell you that?
Yes, but that's not why we use handcuffs. Empty pockets, huh?
Roger, can I see my office in there?
Come on. What's up?
We'll talk inside.
Hey, anything in particular I should know about?
Yeah. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Oh. Okay.
All right, Mr. Shine, what's your, where do you live?
You mean now?
Yeah.
The Ace Hotel. That's 446 Bowery.
All right. Occupation?
I'm a stockbroker.
What's going down?
Oh, Mr. Shine here was apprehended by a patrolman. Caught him running down Wall Street with that purse there.
It belongs to a Miss Ethel Gorman.
Where is Miss Gorman?
We don't know. I'm going to try to reach her now.
It was just being there on Wall Street without a nickel.
Mr. Shine is a stockbroker, Barney. You married, Mr. Shine?
Not anymore. I tried it twice. It never worked. It was a waste of 8 months. 8 months and out. I had it made. Big income. Great apartment on Central Park West. Blue Ferrari.
I should warn you, Mr. Shine, anything you say can be used against you in a court of law.
And the women. Smart, beautiful, sophisticated.
8 months and out.
Please. Could I have a cup of coffee?
Why not? You've had everything else.
Hey, Barney. Miss Gorman said she'll come down and make the identification. She also said that Mr. Shine hit her.
Is that true, Mr. Shine?
Yes, I did. It was just another way of saying, let go of the purse. What would you have done?
I would have found another way of getting the money. Don't you have any friends?
I told you, I'm a stockbroker. Or at least I was until the SEC investigation. Ever hear of colony funding?
Colony funding?
Oh, you too?
I was killed. I had 28 shares.
I had 5,000. I lost everything. You ever been to the Ace Hotel? It's filthy. It's a waste of time to wash. I woke up this morning. I looked in my pockets. Empty. Nothing. Nothing in my pockets when I woke up. Not a nickel. Do you know what that feels like?
Sure.
Shine, want to step into our guest room? Waiting for Miss Gorman to get here.
At least it has a view.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Shine, I was just wondering, that's the blue Ferrari you mentioned. How much does a car like that cost?
$26,000.
$26,000.
26,000. It'll take me 10 years of working overtime every night to make $26,000.
Chano, can I see you in my office, please?
Sure, Barney. What's up?
We'll talk inside. Harris, you too. Borgia?
What do you think happened?
I think I just blew the car.
8 months, enough.
How you guys doing?
Good. Yeah, fine. Everything's cool.
You guys know the situation. I don't like to beat around the bush.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
What's that?
Oh, just a guess.
Just got a call from downtown. Due to budgetary considerations, certain layoffs have been indicated.
You mean us?
Yeah.
The four of us?
I almost wish it was. The 3 of us. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask for your guns and badges. You're officially off duty as of right now.
Hey, you guys want to hear something funny? Later?
It can't last long. This city can't survive without cops. This isn't Blue Water, Wisconsin. This is New York. We're living in a fear-ridden, crime-filled, freaked-out disaster area. So, cheer up.
Excuse me, can I have a manicuring kit?
Sure. Are you through with that coat?
If necessary.
Women are such fools for stuff like this. Bernice would do anything for a fur coat. She could do anything.
Just isn't fair, you know? When has it ever been fair, man? We're always the first ones to go. Puerto Ricans and blacks. I'm not Puerto Rican or black. You're a token layoff.
The watch roster for tomorrow.
You, me, and Fish?
Not exactly what you'd call a deterrent force, is it?
We can handle it as long as there isn't too much crime.
And, fix the roster board, will you?
You mean you want me to erase their names?
Yeah.
I'd rather not, if you don't mind.
It's all right. They know about it.
Let Fish do it.
I asked you to do it.
You do it.
Come on, Nick. Don't be ridiculous. I do it, but, I got other things to do.
Okay, I'll try.
Makes it tough for you like this, huh?
Oh, I don't mind. To tell you the truth, if we had a setup like this in the barber shop, I wouldn't be here now.
Miss Gorman?
Oh, gosh.
Captain Miller? Front. This is, Miss Gorman.
Oh, thank you for coming down, Miss Gorman.
That's the man. That's the man that hit me.
Easy, take it easy. Certain of that identification?
Positive. I could never forget him.
Wojo, get Shine out of the...
I gotta get some stuff from downstairs.
Yeah, me too.
Miss Gorman, is this your purse?
Yes, it is.
Go, Barney. And, it was a great key.
Barney, two guys walked into a supermarket. The clerk thinks one of them was carrying a gun.
They still there?
No, they left.
Good. We could use more stick-ups like that around here. Now, this incident occurred on Wall Street, am I correct?
In front of my office. I'm a stockbroker.
I knew it. This is a nightmare.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
I had just left my office when this man approached me in the street. He grabbed my purse. We struggled for it, and he hit me.
But the...
I should say so.
Please, Miss Gorman, don't send me to prison.
I don't want to discuss it.
Sign right here, please.
I'm not a thief. I'm a stockbroker. Colony funding could have happened to you, Miss Gorman.
But you hit me. You hit a woman.
I don't believe in double standards, Miss Gorman. I have never looked at women as being inferior. I've always considered you equals. And the lip doesn't look that bad, does it, fellas?
My tooth is loose.
Well, teeth don't stay loose. They tighten up. A little extra brushing up and down. It'll get better. Oh, I beg of you, Miss Gorman, don't press charges.
Listen, I don't really want to get any more involved with this. Would you just give me my bag and let me get out of here?
You certain of this?
I'm positive.
Nick, give Mr. Shine his belongings and get him out of here.
Oh, thank you, Miss Gorman. I am eternally grateful. Thank you.
Yeah. Would you check the contents? Right here. Sign
Just a moment. There was $68 in this wallet when I left my office.
$68 in cash.
Wait a minute, that's my money.
Not anymore.
That's my $68, and I want it back.
I can't do that.
Mr. Shine, give the lady back her money.
I went through hell for this money. I told you, I never hit a woman before in my life.
You weren't married long enough.
Just out of gratitude, Miss Gorman is not pressing charges.
Haven't you people been listening? Don't you understand what it is for a man to wake up in the morning without a nickel in his pocket? It's degrading. I'm a bum. An impudent bum.
Insane. The man's insane.
Oh, lady, for God's sakes, I'm trying to get back on my feet. These few dollars, they don't mean anything to you.
But it's my money.
Well, you'll get more. What do you want me to do? Go out in the street and mug somebody else? Have a heart.
I can't take any more of this. I'm going.
I'll still need your signature on this receipt.
I've got my cards and my personal things, and he can have the money.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Try to look at this as a reward.
Mr. Shine?
You can go too, Mr. Shine.
You do see my point.
I must admit you've got me a little confused. Good day, Mr. Shine.
But I don't make the rules. I mean, without money, what are you? It's not who you are. It's what you have. You understand?
Oh, yeah, sure. See you around. Sure.
I do feel better.
Have a good day, Mr. Shine.
Is there something else we can do for you, Mr. Shine?
I hate to leave without your respect.
Captain, I'm here for LaMotta.
Very good.
Let's go. Got a matron waiting.
All right. Do I have time to buff?
Yeah, there's a ladies' room downstairs.
That'll give you an idea what his nails look like.
Oh, it was nice meeting you, Dorothy.
It was nice meeting you, Charlie. Take care of yourself.
I'll be okay. Now, you keep in touch, huh?
Well, I don't know where I'm going or how long I'll be there or where you're going.
I don't know, but it can't be for more than a couple of years. I'll meet you.
When? Where?
Well,
Christmas Eve. We'll meet here every year on Christmas Eve. Captain, is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure. There's always something happening Christmas Eve.
Be around, Barney. Don't be a stranger. Let us hear from you sometime.
You guys, give me a call if you need anything here. Won't you, take care? Good luck.
Got it. Barney, the guys are back at the supermarket with 2 other guys and they're carrying shotguns.
Fish, Yamada, let's go.
Just as older guys?
Brought some weapons. I'll meet you downstairs.
Barney, 4 guys with shotguns. You're gonna need some help.
Nobody available.
Hey, Barney, we could go.
No, you can't. You're officially off duty. Kogan, how many guys you got downstairs? That's all? Never mind.
Hey, Barney, why don't you make believe you forgot to tell us about it, man?
I can't do that.
Why not? Who's gonna know the difference?
I can't ask you to go. You're not even on salary. Who's going to pay you?
I will.
Need something, Captain? Yeah. Sit here and watch the phones and keep your eye on the cage.
Barney, hey! You're not asking us to do anything.
Yeah, we just need a lift to the supermarket.
We're going shopping anyway.
Okay. But I better see you buy something. How'd it go? Okay, we got some help from some of the other precincts.
Hey, 4 guys, all with sawdust. They took them over to Manhattan South, and now...
Well, I'm telling you, this place is a madhouse. Captain, here's some messages for you. Look, I'm going to take him with me. We got a car available now.
Okay. Hey, you guys did good work. I appreciate it. But you lied to me.
What are you talking about? You want a tangerine?
Listen, in case I don't make it this year, give this to Dorothy on Christmas Eve, huh?
Point hanging around here, I guess. Huh?
Look at this. Just in the time we've been gone. Stick up, 2 muggings, breaking and entering.
Why don't we just raise a white flag over the building?
Uh-oh.
What?
Department of Personnel.
Forward, folks.
This is Captain Miller, 12th Precinct. Yeah? All right. Okay. Albany turned the mayor down. Well, we got a loan from Connecticut.
Connecticut?
So the department is back on full staff until the loan runs out.
That ought to last us through the end of the week.
Hey, man, look on the bright side. This could start a trend. We got 48 more states to go.
49.
No, you can't count on New York.
What about the federal government?
Whose? Captain, I got a burglary report. 3 typewriters and an ad machine.
From where?
Downstairs. While I was watching your phones.
Joe. Nick, yeah, gentlemen, your checks have arrived.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, I'm going to go out and have a great big dinner tonight and celebrate because I almost didn't get any dinner tonight.
And I'm going to cash mine quick before Connecticut changes its mind.
Hey.
Yeah, okay, you'll get it.
Are you gonna do that all day?
You take care of your body, it will take care of you.
The way I figure, at this point, we don't owe each other anything.
Morning, Mal.
It's almost 5 p.m.
Came early today.
Great. 8 hours later, it'll be morning mail again.
Here you are, Fish.
13 cents a stamp. I wouldn't write to anyone if my life depended on it.
It's Jono and Harris. They both smell from perfume.
Maybe they're writing to each other.
Yeah, here's the duty roster for tomorrow. It's almost 5 o'clock. You guys can check out if you want.
Longest is call from Florida, Barn. Sardona Beach.
They already took that one.
If they called again. Somebody trying to sell you a lot?
A job.
In Florida?
Yeah. Where's Chano and Harris?
They went out on a call about a half hour ago. Yamana went with them.
They're calling you?
Not yet. Barn? You're not leaving us.
Haven't made my mind up yet.
Captain, morning mail.
Oh, wonderful. 8 hours later, we'll be back to be morning mail again.
Hey, I just said that just a minute ago.
No kidding.
Yeah. Just sort of slipped out.
Barney, can you see what this says?
It's a credit card charge for $26.
Yeah, but what is the $26 for?
Looks like a restaurant. I can't make out the name.
Can't be a restaurant. There's no tip.
It's from a restaurant.
No, I'm telling you, man, nobody cares, man. I mean, everybody was standing around and not one single person. Yes, solo que me da un coraje, chico. Nobody, not one person lifted one single finger to help.
Hey, take it easy, man.
No, pero chico, hombre, ¿cuántas veces? How many times? How many times did I say, call an ambulance? Somebody, please, call an ambulance, right?
What you need an ambulance for?
It's Yamana.
What happened? How bad?
Got a bullet in his cheek.
Oh, my God.
Not that one. Actually, he's pretty lucky. He'll probably be in Bellevue about a week.
Hombre, chico, caray, pero tú sabes lo que es un balazo en el coming from behind. Hombre, chico, me brincó para ahí,
Take it easy. What happened?
We got a call, right? Somebody's got some information about a robbery suspect. We go to check it out. They're waiting for us.
Set up.
A couple of dudes opened up on us before we had a chance to say anything.
Yeah, isn't that a shame? Because we usually get a chance to say, halt, police officers, hands in the air, or we fire. However, if while you are making up your mind, you choose to fire on us, hey, feel free to do so. And afterwards, we will read you your rights. Well, don't worry about a thing, yeah. Just check form A, B, or C. We gotta change the rules, man.
Did you get a good look at them?
We didn't get a chance to see much, Barney.
We were on the floor, man, trying to get under the floor.
Well, gentlemen, it appears someone out there doesn't like us.
Well, they sure picked a fine way of showing it.
What's more, they got the edge. They know how to get to us.
Not if we don't take any more coal.
No guts.
12 precinct. Secretary. Yeah, give me the address.
Here's your publicity, boys.
Where?
On the board, under the thumbtack.
Can you read it, please? I'm too modest.
There's cops ambushed.
You mean that's it?
Just a headline. Then it says, 3 detectives from the 12th precinct were fired upon by an unknown assailant. There was 1 person injured. It's a very nice article.
Yeah, no autographs, please.
You want to take my bank charge card away? Be my guest. I can't afford credit anyhow. I don't want to argue. I can't read it. I'm not paying it.
Nick sends his love, and he says in lieu of flowers, he'll take a rubber donut. How's it going?
This is what we got so far. These are all known cop haters.
It's a growing industry.
I think it's our image. You know, maybe we shouldn't smile so much. We always go around doing a lot of smiling.
That's true.
Well, I sure wish you'd gotten a good look at those guys. Huh?
Hey, I told you, man, the apartment was dark.
Yeah. I just wish I'd been there.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You were a Marine.
What's wrong with that?
Well, Marines don't smile, man. They got these cold blue eyes, and they always look straight ahead, and they got jaws about a foot wide like that.
Well, I guess we just approach things differently, psychologically speaking.
Hey, man, you weren't the only dude in the service.
Ah, that's right. You see that? You forgot. Harris was in the Coast Guard for 2 years.
Yeah.
The legal department, wasn't it?
Yeah. You think that wasn't rough?
Okay. There's enough cop hating going on out there. We don't need any in here.
I'd just like to know how we're going to find them now.
Don't worry about it. They'll call us.
How are we going to know it's them?
You won't. Till you get there.
Great.
Well, here I am back home again at the United Nations. Tony Diaz, Chino.
Yeah. How you doing, Kelly?
Benny. How's things up in your neighborhood?
Oh, much better. Now that we're moving up to Central Park West.
Central Park West?
Yeah.
That's a pretty rich neighborhood. How can your people do that?
It's a community thing. It's called revolution.
You put me on.
Only for a while.
What do you say, Howard?
How you, Kelly?
Hey, you smell pretty good. What you wearing?
I'm not wearing anything.
You're kidding.
You surprised?
Hello there, Kelly. To what do we owe this pleasure?
Detective 3rd grade Eugene Kelly reporting for duty. I've been assigned to your squad.
What for?
Manhattan South said you were shorthands. They sent me over. Yeah, the department likes to keep a guy like me moving around.
I can understand that.
Only I don't like replacing a guy that just bought the farm.
Yamana hasn't bought anything more serious than a week on his stomach. Relax. That's his desk over here.
Oh, hey, Barney, do I gotta use his desk?
You won't mind.
Barney, what do you think of this one? 12th precinct, Detective Wojciech. Yeah, hold on, just a minute. This is for you. It's Sardana Beach again.
I'll take it in my office.
Hey, Fish, what happened to your mother? Was he cleaning his gun or something?
He was ambushed.
Ambushed? Just because he's a Japanese? Boy, some guys always were trying to get even.
Just some guy who doesn't like cops.
Hey, you know there's more and more of that? You know, people used to like cops. Back in the old days, we used to be George Murphy, Phil Regan, Pat O'Brien. Nowadays, we're Al Pacino, Richard Roundtree. No wonder we're getting ambushed.
Hey, you guys, I think Barney's leaving us.
Yeah? Where's he going?
Well, he's been offered a job in Florida, and, well, they must want him pretty bad. They called him 4 times.
No, he's been offered jobs before, man.
Hey, man, but it's a beautiful time to go. Ambush time in Manhattan when the dingbats are in bloom.
Anybody want to be police chief of Sardana Beach, Florida? The job's open.
I'll take it.
You? In Florida? You gotta be kidding.
Why not, man? They must have seen Blazing Saddles by now.
Hey, you're not gonna take it, huh, Barn?
I didn't say no. I didn't say yes. I told him I'd think about it.
You know, I wouldn't blame you if you would. Yeah. By the way, can you take anybody with you other than your family?
We haven't gone into details yet.
Oh.
12th Precinct, Kelly. Yeah, all right. Now, calm down, lady. Calm down. Yeah. Yeah, give me your phone number. Yeah. And the address? Okay, we'll send somebody right over. Thank you. Got a burglary on 17th Street. Some broad had her apartment rifled.
Hey, that could be another setup. Come on, Kelly.
What do you mean, come on, Kelly? I just got here. I'm still unpacking. I'm trying to get acclimatized, you know?
Hey, come on. Harris and Chano had their shot. It's our turn.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't want to muscle in another guy's collar.
I'll go.
Yeah, sure, go. You got seniority.
Better verify that call first.
Yeah, good idea, Fish. Why don't you verify the call? I mean, come on, will you? Hey, it's a rookie trick, muscling another guy's collar. I mean, back in the old days, cops didn't do things like that.
Hello? Madam? This is Detective Fish at the 12th Precinct. Did you just place a call to report a burglary in your apartment? You did. Thank you. We're glad to hear about that. We'll send someone right over.
Gentlemen?
She lost everything.
Hold it. Roger, take Kelly with you.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm glad to go. Now, you don't want to walk into an ambush. Yeah, you got a pad?
Yeah, I got a pad.
All right, let's mount up.
You keep your eyes open, you hear?
Yeah, Thorn.
Fish.
Hey, you guys see, you didn't think I was trying to muscle in on your collar, did you?
Oh, man, of course not. Don't be
man.
silly.
I wouldn't do nothing like that.
We know that. Hey, it's cool, man.
I got a lot of respect for the Coast Guard.
Talked it over with Liz. It's a tempting offer. You know, pretty little town, about 25,000. Nice, clean environment, beautiful weather.
You turned it down?
I'd be bored without the challenge, without the pressures, without the problems. Not for me. Maybe when I retire. So they asked me to recommend somebody else.
Is it someone in this room?
Told them you were the most experienced officer I knew.
Did you tell them how old I was?
I told them you were extremely mature.
So you lied.
I told them you were facing enforced retirement, and it would be a shameful waste of a valuable piece of manpower.
Florida, huh?
Look, think about it. It'd be a perfect job for you.
Don't you think I'd be bored?
Boredom is a state of mind.
Well, it's better than doing nothing at all. May not be such a bad idea. Nice sleepy town, green lawns, warm winters. Might even help things between me and Bernice, you know, seeing her with a tan.
Hey, here's a winner. It's Hess Jr., Arnold S. 5473, attempted assault on police officer with lead pipe. 11273, unprovoked attack on police officer with knife. 31774, attempted manslaughter on police officer with car.
Sick, man, sick.
Yeah, but we don't have to worry about him. He's already doing 1 to 10.
Oh, good.
For tax evasion.
Sure. He finally went too far.
Okay, would you just step inside, please, Mr. Ditka?
What is this, another attempt to persecute the American sportsman?
Just have a seat over here, please, Mr. Ditka.
I was up on my own roof ramming my own cleaning rod through my own rifle barrel. Supposed to be something wrong about that?
Mr. Ditka. Mr. Ditka, we're not pressing charges against you. We're merely conducting an investigation.
Yeah, 1, 2. Your old Army bunkmate. Always keep you company and never gets pregnant.
Where'd you find him?
Mr. Ditka was up on a roof across from the apartment building that got ripped off.
Oh, yeah? Mr. Ditka, what are you doing up on the roof cleaning your rifle? Why don't you clean your rifle in your apartment?
I like to be in full view of the local youth. Just another way of saying, Emil Ditka's got a gun.
Could you sit down, please, Mr. Ditka?
There are no palm trees, but it does have a certain charm.
Hey, Barn, excuse me. This is Emil Ditka. We found him up on a roof with that rifle. Hadn't been fired yet.
Not yet.
Are you planning on firing this, Mr. Ditka?
If the need arises and the opportunity presents itself, que sera, sera. Right?
I assume this is registered with the police department?
Oh, yes, it's registered.
Check it out, Kelly.
Yeah, right away, Ken.
They say war ain't supposed to be fun. But that one's about as close as you can get.
When do I get my piece back?
As soon as it's checked out.
When do I talk to my lawyer?
There's no need to call a lawyer, Mr. Ditka. You're not being charged with a crime.
Oh, don't give me that. The members of my group have been hassled before.
What group would that be?
The Staten Island Shoot Club and Personal Armament League.
I'm not familiar with that group.
Well, you will be. And when you need us, we'll be there.
Good to know we have support in some quarters, huh? Wonderful.
Of course you've got support. You think the League don't know what you guys are going through? You got friends out there. See, we just keep a low profile for security reasons.
How many members are there in your league?
So far?
Oh, round figures.
Well, let's see. There's me and Charlie. And Larry. And a new guy, Sid something.
All Prison Detective Sergeant Amenguala speaking.
Would you repeat that, please? Yes, I'm writing it down. Uh-huh. Very good, thank you. Yeah, we should be there between 10 and 15 minutes. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Barney, I swear to you, that's the same guy that called me yesterday.
Here we go. Round 2.
But this time we're all going. Wojo, draw some weapons. Meet you downstairs.
Okay, Cap.
Fish! Get your excitement while you can.
Checks out, Barney. It's registered all right.
Okay, give it back to him. Wait. Draw Mr. Ditka some .30 caliber ammunition.
What for?
Well, we could use the extra firepower, Mr. Ditka. That's an ambush. They want to kill police officers. It's a wonderful opportunity.
Oh, well, now, wait a minute. We've only been on maneuvers a couple of times.
What? Practical experience is the best experience. You're gonna love it.
Oh, no, wait. I don't know if I could get the guys together. Larry's a fry cook. He doesn't get off till 4:30.
I'm alone.
Oh, no, not me. I never shot nobody in my life. You see, we just use silhouettes, cans, birds.
Birds? You shoot little birds?
Well, yeah, but we really don't shoot to kill.
Here's your opportunity. Come on.
No, you can't make me go. You can't make me shoot anybody.
I thought that's what you wanted.
You're crazy. You cops are crazy. No wonder people don't like you.
It's a wonderful opportunity. You blew it.
Bloodthirsty devils.
After you, gentlemen. Kelly, mind the phones.
Yeah, 5:15. That's right. Yeah, see that.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Fish.
Yeah.
Here. Call Operator 4, Miami.
What's going on around here? Is everybody going to Florida?
Can I take this in your office, Barney?
Sure. And good luck.
Yeah.
Where you guys been?
Hey, it was another setup. Only this time we got him.
Oh, yeah? I was here all alone answering all these telephones. Where's Chano and Harris?
It was their collar. They took those creeps downtown.
Pick up bread on way home tonight. It says no name. Is that for Fish or me?
It's for Wojo. It ain't bread. It's broad. Holy cow, what a stink. What'd you guys do, come back by way of Newark?
Isn't this the pits, man? You go lay your body and soul down on the line for 'em, and this is the thanks you get from the home folks you trying to protect. What happened?
What happened? What do you think? What does it look like? And they threw garbage on us! Putting those two maniaticos sinvergüenza in the van, and our adoring public throws garbage at us from the window.
What's the matter? They run out of confetti?
I'll tell you one thing. I am totally disenchanted.
You'll feel better when you get your clothes clean.
I'll tell you, if nobody wants that job, maybe I'll take it. I mean, if nobody around here appreciates the job we're doing, what's the use of hanging around?
If you didn't expect so much, you wouldn't be so disappointed.
Barney, I don't expect so much. All I would like is for somebody to say thank you. Just once in a while.
Once in a while, somebody says thank you.
Yeah? Well, I haven't heard it. You kidding? I've got the garbage, but no flowers.
You never heard of Mrs. Lorraine Kirkland?
Who's Mrs. Lorraine Kirkland?
Mrs. Lorraine Kirkland happens to love the police. I got a letter here from her that I've been holding off because I figured there'd be a time when you'd need a little morale booster. Okay, listen. To the men of the 12th Precinct. I am a widow, 72 years of age. 2 weeks ago, my apartment was burglarized, and the gentlemen who were assigned to the case were courteous, efficient, and very concerned. A short time later, the burglar was caught, and my most precious personal mementos were returned. Thank God there are men like you protecting people like me. Bless you all, and thank you. Sincerely yours, Mrs. Lorraine Kirkland.
When did we get that?
June 14th, 1959.
But that was 16 years ago.
Yeah. So she's either 88 or we're alone again.
There you go. Do your roster for the rest of the week. Charlo, you and Harris are in court tomorrow.
That means I gotta get my suit cleaned.
Oh, that's all you got is one suit?
Forgive me.
I don't want a dog, Bernice. We just had the couch covered. What do you need company for? You're not a young woman anymore.
Yeah, hold on a second. I don't believe it. It's Florida again.
For me or for Fish?
It's for Kelly.
Well, you see, Barney, yesterday I put out a few feelers.
All over the globe, we were making more money than the Royal Mint. We had the family with us, Raquel, Cassandra, the Nipper Damien. We were the kings of the castle. Bill's voice faltered. The castle had been built of sand, and the tide had come in with the ferocity of a hurricane. Chapter 2. The Fall of the House of Trotter. The transition from champagne to light ale happened so fast it gave the Trotters financial whiplash. One day, Dell was ordering custom-made silk dressing gowns. The next, he was checking the back of the sofa for loose change. The Central American market hadn't just crashed, it had vaporized. The creative solution, Dell had come up with a series of increasingly desperate credit card maneuvers had only delayed the inevitable. When the news hit the UK, the business associates who had once laughed at Dell's jokes and toasted his success suddenly found that their phones didn't work. It was a financial wilderness, Dell told Justin, his voice dropping an octave. But Peckham looks after its own. Mike Fisher, the landlord of the Nag's Head, he's a saint, Justin, a man of vision. He's in prison, Dell, Rodney reminded him. He remortgaged the pub to follow your lead. He's awaiting trial for embezzlement. He pleaded guilty because he's a man of honor, Dell shouted, though even he knew how hollow it sounded. The scene shifted in Dell's memory to the corridors of the courthouse. Denzel, Trigger, Boykeet, the character witnesses who looked more like a police lineup than a support group. Denzel had been pacing the floorboards then, convinced that his testimony would lead to a life sentence for everyone involved. Trigger, in his own inimitable way, had been hearing voices again. Trig, Dell had whispered in the hallway, "Just tell them I'm a pillar of the community. I'll tell them I hear voices. Del, Trigger had replied, his eyes glazed with a strange, internal peace. It'll explain a lot. The memory was bitter. The court hadn't sent them to prison that would have been too merciful. Instead, they had been stripped. The riverfront property, the peacocks, the estate all gone. All that remained was the one thing Del had kept in his back pocket, the old flat in Nelson Mandela House. The return to the estate had been a funeral procession in a yellow three-wheeled van. The lifts were still broken. The graffiti was new, but the smell of stale cabbage and disappointment was exactly the same as they had left it. Chapter 3, The Ancient Mariner's Last Voyage. The loss of the money was a tragedy, but the loss of Uncle Albert was something else entirely. It was the end of an era. The man who had survived the Battle of the Baltic, 3 shipwrecks, and countless wartime sagas had finally reached his final port of call. The funeral was, in true Trotter fashion, a masterpiece of misunderstanding. Del stood at the graveside, his eyes misty behind his sunglasses. He had felt guilty, terribly guilty about leaving Albert behind while they were off globe-trotting in Barbados. Albert had lived his final months in a rest home, while Elsie Partridge, his girlfriend, who was old enough to have witnessed the construction of Stonehenge, looked after him. He loved his cognac, Del whispered to the assembly of mourners, half of whom he didn't recognize, kept the old colds at bay. He looked at Rodney and Cassandra, who were holding hands, their faces masks of solemnity. Then there was Damien, Del's son, looking like a miniature version of a Peckham wide boy, already eyeing the silver handles on the coffin. Del's cousin Roland, a man with the personality of a damp sponge, leaned in. He did go on, didn't he? All those wartime stories. Never bloody stopped. Del felt a surge of protectiveness. He won the war, Roland, in his own way. Every bloke who fought did. They fought for our freedom for prats like you to knock in 50 years later. All right, Del, take it easy, Rodney cautioned. But Del was on a roll. He looked around the cemetery, wondering where the old gang was. Where was Sid? Where was Mike? He felt a deep sense of isolation. Then he looked at the headstone. He looked at the photo of the deceased. He looked at the name. Is that a Spitfire, Dad? Damien asked, pointing at a floral arrangement. Del squinted. Rotters. I think we're at the wrong funeral. What? This isn't Albert. This is a bloke named Bunny Warren. He was in the RAF. The realization hit them like a cold bucket of water. They were mourning a complete stranger, while Albert was likely being lowered into the ground 3 plots over. It was the ultimate plonker moment, a final joke from the universe that reminded them that even in death, the Trotters couldn't quite get it right. Chapter 4, The Bankruptcy Blues. Back in the flat, the reality of their situation settled in like a thick, suffocating fog. Raquel was quiet, her disappointment radiating off her in waves. Cassandra was looking for a way out back to the bank, back to a life that didn't involve three-wheeled vans and tax evasion. 48,750 for pounds, Dell muttered, staring at the letter from the Inland Revenue, plus interest. You forgot the for quid, Dell, Rodney said, his voice flat. The for quid is the least of our worries. They're gonna take the flat. Rodney, they're gonna auction the roof from over our heads. Dell paced the small living room, his mind whirring like a rusty engine. He was a trader. He had been trading since he was 12. He could sell sand to the Arabs and ice to the Eskimos. He just needed a hook, a new angle. Trotter's Independent Traders isn't dead, Dell declared, pointing a finger at Rodney. It's just under new management. Dell, you're disqualified from running a company. If you so much as buy a pint of milk for business purposes, they'll bang you up. I know. That's why you're the new managing director, Rodney. Rodney froze. The idea of being the boss of the chaotic enterprise that had ruined his life was both terrifying and strangely alluring. He saw a chance to finally have some control, to stop being the brother who keeps the Christmas parties organized. I'll be in charge of sales, purchasing, and finance, Rodney said, trying to sound authoritative. Exactly. And I'll be your consultant, your silent partner, the power behind the throne. For a few days, there was a glimmer of hope. They printed new business cards. Rodney started wearing a suitor on the flat. He even started listening to Mozart to ease his executive stress. But the ghost of their past was always hovering. The Sultan of Brunei didn't call. Mickey Pierce did. Rodney, it's the Sultan. Dell had yelled through the door. A cruel prank that had left Rodney fuming. The tension in the house was reaching a breaking point. Cassandra wanted a baby. Rodney wanted a career. Dell wanted his dignity back. And then came the game show. Chapter 5, The Gold Rush Gamble. Gold Rush, the fastest game show on TV. Hosted by Jonathan Ross. The prize, £100,000. To Dell, it was the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. He had spent weeks preparing, which for Dell meant watching old episodes of University Challenge and pretending to understand 16th century Italian Renaissance art. I'm a man of the world, Raquel, he told her as he adjusted his cufflinks in the mirror. I've got broad shoulders. The buck stops here. The studio was a blur of neon lights and shouting audiences. Dell felt like a gladiator entering the Colosseum. He was up against a financial advisor from Merseyside and an amateur opera singer from New Quay. And finally, we have Derek Trotter from Peckham. Jonathan Ross announced, pastimes include fine wines, the theater, and Italian art. Welcome, Derek. Lovely jubbly, Jonathan, Dell chirped, his palms sweating. The timed round was a disaster. Dell answered Mrs. Dale to a question about the Great Fire of London. He felt the audience's laughter like a physical blow, but through a stroke of luck and the failure of the other contestants, he found himself on the Rainbow Road. He moved through the questions with a mixture of luck and pure, unadulterated bluff. He knew Kilimanjaro was a mountain because he'd once tried to sell coffee with a similar name. He knew President Kennedy had been in a terrible state when he died. Then came the 50,000 pounds question. Which classical guitarist wrote the opera The Child and the Enchantment? Was it Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Dell felt the world tilt. He didn't know classical music. He knew the old rugged cross and the theme to the bill. He looked at the audience. He looked at the clock. I'll use my SOS, Jonathan, Dell said, his voice cracking. I'll call my brother, Rodney. He's got to GCE's. The phone rang in the flat in Peckham. Rodney, dressed as Russell Crowe for a fantasy therapy session with Cassandra, who was dressed as a policewoman, picked up. Hello, is that Rodney? This is Jonathan Ross. Oh, piss off, Mickey Pierce, Rodney yelled. The studio audience erupted. Dell wanted to crawl into a hole and die. But eventually, the message got through. Rodney, help me for 50 grand. Which classical guitarist? Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Ravel, Rodney said, his voice confident. I'm 100% sure. Dell, I know my classics. Dell turned back to Jonathan Ross, a look of triumph on his face. It's Ravel, Jonathan. Final answer. Derek. That was the wrong answer. It was Segovia. The silence in the studio was louder than any applause. Dell felt the Rainbow Road crumble beneath his feet. He had lost it all. Again. Chapter 6. The morning after the night before. The cab ride back to Peckham was the longest of those life. He had abandoned Raquel and Damien at the studio in his rush to flee the scene of his public humiliation. He had walked through London for hours, looking at the city that had once been his playground and was now his judge. When he finally walked through the door of the flat, he found Rodney and Cassandra sitting in the dim light of the television. How's your evening been, Rodney? Dell asked, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Not very good, to be honest, Rodney replied. A bloody snap. Dell shouted. Everyone knows Ravel makes shoes. It was a trick question, and you fell for it. He's got to GCE's, Raquel yelled from the kitchen. The argument that followed was a master class in Trotter's sibling rivalry. The bone marrow was brought up. The mother's dying wish was invoked. The yellow coppery was banned. But then the phone rang. Hello, Rodney answered. Yes, can I ask who's calling? He looked at Dell, his eyes wide. Dell, it's the producer of Gold Rush. Dell took the phone with a trembling hand. Yes, this is Derek Trotter. What? No. He listened for a moment, his face transforming from a mask of despair to a glowing beacon of hope. He hung up and looked at the family. They made a mistake, Del whispered. The producer, he said there was a technical error. It was Ravel or something. They're giving me the 50 grand and I'm going back on the show for the 100. Yes, Rodney cheered. But as Del looked at the phone, he heard a faint sound from the receiver, the sound of a jukebox, the sound of laughter, the sound of Mickey Pierce. I'm gonna kill him, Del whispered. I'm actually gonna kill him. But as he looked around the room at Raquel, at Rodney, at the nipper sleeping in the corner, he realized something. They were broke. They were bankrupt. They were back in the flat. But they were still the Trotters. This time next year, Del said, a familiar glint returning to his eyes. This time next year, we'll be millionaires. Rodney looked at him, a weary smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. You're a plonker, Del, a total plonker. I know. Rodney, Del grinned, patting his brother on the shoulder. But I'm your plonker. Now, let's get down the nag's head. I think I know a bloke who's got a consignment of digital watches that only work in the dark. It's a gold mine. Rotters. A literal gold mine. The sun began to rise over Peckham, casting a golden light over the tower blocks and the market stalls. The Trotters were back in business. Chapter 7. The Market of Broken Dreams. The Monday morning air in Peckham was thick with the smell of exhaust fumes and cheap fried breakfast. Del Boy stood behind his suitcase, which was perched precariously on a folding table outside the Nag's Head. In the suitcase lay the literal gold mine, 200 digital watches that glowed with a neon intensity, but had the structural integrity of wet cardboard. Roll up, Del shouted, his voice echoing against the brick walls of the pub. The latest in chronometric technology. These watches are so advanced, they only work in the dark to save your eyesight. A few locals wandered by, their faces etched with the skepticism of people who had been buying genuine designer goods from Del since the late 70s. Is that right, Del? Trigger asked, stopping to squint at a watch that was flashing 88 to 88. What if I want to know the time at lunch? Then you go into a cupboard. Trig, it's about the aesthetic. It's about the vibe. Del leaned in, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. Between you and me, these were destined for the special forces, but the contract fell through because they were too stealthy. Trigger nodded slowly, his mind processing this information at its usual glacial pace. I'll take 2. Del, 1 for each wrist, in case I get lost in a really long tunnel. Del beamed, pocketing the crumpled fivers. It wasn't the millions he'd lost, but it was a start. It was the hum of the hustle, the friction of the trade. Behind him, Rodney approached, looking every bit the managing director in a suit that was starting to fray at the cuffs. He held a clipboard as if it were a shield against the reality of their situation. Del, "We've got a problem," Rodney said, his voice tense. "Rodney, I'm in the middle of a major international arms deal. Well, watch deal. What's up?" "The Inland Revenue. I've been looking at the year of grace document. They don't just want the 50 grand, Dell. They want it in 12 monthly installments. The first one is due next Friday." Dell's smile didn't falter, but his eyes hardened. "How much?" "For £1,000, Dell, and 66 pence. Dell looked at the suitcase of glowing watches. He looked at Trigger, who was currently trying to find a dark corner of the street to test his new purchases. "Right," Dell said, snapping the suitcase shut. "New plan. We're not just selling watches. We're branching out into event management." "Event management?" Rodney groaned. "Dell, the last event you managed was Albert's funeral, and we buried the wrong bloke. That was a dress rehearsal. Rodney, this is the big time. Peckham's first ever millionaires reunion at the Nag's Head. We charge for entry, we sell the watches as souvenirs, and we have a raffle for a weekend in a luxury penthouse. Well, a weekend in our flat. But I'll put a penthouse sign on the door." Rodney stared at his brother. He saw the madness, the desperation, and the flickering ember of the man who had once stood on a beach in Barbados. He sighed, adjusting his clipboard. "I'll check the insurance," Rodney muttered. "But if I end up in a cell next to Mike, I'm telling the warden it was all your fault." "That's the spirit, Rotters. Potpourri. This time next week, we'll have that installment covered. I can feel it in my bones." Chapter 8. The Shadow of the Night. While Dell was busy planning his millionaires' reunion, the atmosphere inside Nelson Mandela House was simmering with a different kind of tension. Raquel and Cassandra sat in the kitchen, the steam from their mugs of tea rising into the cold air. "He's doing it again, isn't he?" Raquel asked, her voice weary. Cassandra nodded. "The managing director act. Rodney spends all day drawing graphs that lead to nowhere, and Dell spends all night dreaming of schemes that lead to the police station." They shared a look of mutual understanding, the bond of two women who had married into a whirlwind and were now trying to find their footing in the wreckage. "I went back to the bank today," Cassandra said softly. "They offered me my old job, but the salary, it's not enough to get us out of here, not with the dead hanging over them." Raquel reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "We've been through worse. Cass, remember when we thought Damien was going to be the Antichrist because of that weird birthmark? He still might be," Cassandra joked, though the smile didn't reach her eyes. "He's currently trying to charge the neighborhood kids for protection from imaginary monsters." "He's a trotter," Raquel sighed. "It's in the blood." Outside, the lift groaned as it made its agonizing ascent. The sound of Dill's voice loud, optimistic, and dangerously charismatic filtered through the door. "And then, Rodney, we get Mickey Pierce to dress up as a waiter. It adds class." The women looked at each other. They knew the cycle, the hope, the hustle, the inevitable crash. But as the door swung open and Dell burst in, smelling of cheap cigars and the cold Peckham night, he looked at them with such genuine affection that for a moment the debt didn't matter. "Ladies, put the kettle on," Dell shouted, tossing his coat onto the sofa. "I've just had a meeting with a major player in the catering industry, Sid from the cafe, and we are go for launch. Peckham isn't ready for what's coming." "We know," Dell, Raquel said, standing up to fetch another mug. "We really know." The Trotters were back. They were broke. They were bankrupt. And they were probably doomed. But as the lights of the estate flickered in the dark, they were together. And in the heart of Peckham, that was the only thing that had ever really been worth £6.5 million. The Trotter Legacy, a novelization of the fall and rise of Peckham's finest. Prologue, the changing of the seasons. The yellow Reliant Regal Supervan rattled through the streets of Peckham like a tin can tied to a dog's tail. Behind the wheel, Derek Delboy Trotter hummed a tune that was as much a part of the London fog as the smell of diesel and damp cardboard. "I'll fetch the suitcase from the van," he muttered to himself, the lyrics of his life playing out in his mind. "'Cause if you are the bestest, but you don't ask questions, then, brother, I'm your man." It was a philosophy that had served him well mostly. It was the philosophy of the survivor, the man who knew that where the hooky gear came from didn't matter as much as where it was going. To Dell, life was an endless cycle, much like the changing of the seasons or the tides of the sea. One moment you were eating caviar in a penthouse, and the next you were back in the Nag's Head wondering if you could put a pint on the slate. But lately, the seasons had been particularly cruel. He glanced at his younger brother, Rodney, who sat in the passenger seat looking like a man who had just been told his library card had been revoked. Rodney was nervous. Rodney was always nervous, but today he looked positively translucent. "What's up with you, Rodney?" Dell asked, his voice a gravelly mixture of mock concern and genuine irritation. "I'm a bit nervous, that's all," Rodney replied, adjusting his tie for the 10th time. "I mean, this bloke we're going to see, this Justin, he's not going to be asking me anything about my private life, that sort of thing, is he?" Dell scoffed, shifting the van into a gear that sounded like a bag of bolts being shaken. "Of course he ain't. We're not that private, Rotters. He's a businessman, an interviewer. He wants the raison d'etre, not the under the duvet. He's not going to want to know about, you know, me and Cassandra's little problems." Those eyes twinkled with a mischievous, albeit dangerous, light. "No, no, good, 'cause otherwise I would. What problems? Me and Cassandra haven't got any problems." Rodney stared ahead. "That's not what you said to me the other night." "All right. So there's been one or two minor hiccups in the bedroom department." Rodney conceded, his voice dropping an octave as if the gear stick might be listening. But they're personal, Dell, and I told you that in confidence. All right, keep your hair on, Dell said, waving a gold-ringed hand dismissively. I'm not going to be telling him about jiffins and things. And I won't tell him what Cassandra wears, either. As they pulled up to the sleek, glass-fronted office building that served as their destination, the ghosts of their past seemed to linger in the exhaust fumes. They were no longer the millionaires of a few years back. The Trotter Tower's dream had been replaced by the familiar concrete of Nelson Mandela House. But Del Boy didn't do defeat. He did intermission. Chapter 1, The Insight. Justin was the kind of man who wore a suit that cost more than those first 3 cars combined. He sat behind a mahogany desk that was polished to such a high sheen that Del could see his own reflection and he liked what he saw. Sorry to keep you waiting, Justin said, his voice smooth and professional. It's been a particularly busy morning. Now, I've got all the basic details about your business career, etc. But what I'd like to do is to get an insight into the real you. Del leaned back, his camel hair coat draped over the chair like the skin of a conquered beast. He crossed his legs, revealing a flash of white sock that screamed Peckham Executive. How you started, how you became so successful, Justin continued, leaning forward. But more importantly, your lives and your raison d'etre. Rodney winced at the French. Del, however, bloomed. Oh, no. Laboratory Garney, Del whispered, his version of liberté, eagle-eyed, fraternate mangled beyond recognition, but delivered with the confidence of a king. So, in your own words and in your own time. Del took a deep breath, the smell of his own cigar smoke clinging to his coat providing a familiar comfort. Well, where shall I start? Justin. Well, up to a few years ago, we were just very ordinary people living. Well, very ordinary lives. Weren't we, Rodney? Weren't we? Rodney gave a stiff, mechanical nod. And then Dole's eyes went misty. As you know, one day I discovered an historic and almost priceless artifact. A watch. Not just any watch, mind you. A Harrison. The holy grail of horology. He paused for dramatic effect. Justin nodded, encouraging him. Anyway, at first, we didn't know what to do with it. Del lied smoothly. In reality, they had nearly tripped over themselves trying to figure out how many zeros were on the end of the valuation. To begin with, we thought about donating it to the British Museum as a national treasure. Rodney cleared his throat. Yeah, and then we decided to flog it. Del shot him a look. So, before you know, Rodders and me have come in on an eye on £6.5 million. 6.5 million, Justin. In the hand. Not a penny of it hooky. The room seemed to grow quiet as the memory of that wealth washed over them. It had been a time of helicopters and villas, of champagne that didn't taste like fermented apples, and of a world that finally seemed to recognize the genius of Trotter's independent traders. Well, after we divvied the dosh up, right, Dell continued, his voice softening. We made sure that our Uncle Albert got a nice little drink, but we thought of others first. We donated to charity. Enormously, of course. Enormously, Rodney echoed, though his mind was likely calculating the exact cost of the donations versus the cost of the cigars Dell had smoked during that period. So, eventually, we had to start thinking about our future, Dell said, the tone shifting to something more somber. So, we sought out this city stockbroker, Real Diamond, according to the brochures, and he advised us to invest in a new and vibrant venture, a Central American market. Rodney added, the words tasting like ash in his mouth. It was attracting massive funds from all over the world. We were told it was a sure thing. Dell nodded vigorously. We were making more money than the Royal Mint, but we weren't flat. Oh, no, 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 we weren't flat. I mean, even when we went away on business, we always took the family with us. There would be me and Raquel, my significant other, and, of course, Rodney and Cassandra, and not forgetting my young son, Damien. Chapter 2, The High Life and the Deep Fall. The memory shifted to the sun-drenched shores of their brief paradise. Dell could almost feel the heat on his back and the cold condensation of a pina colada in his hand. He remembered walking into a high-end restaurant, greeted like royalty. "Oh, Mr. Potter, it's good to see you again," the Mactor D had said. "Bon appetit, Dominic." "Bon appetit," Dell had replied, waving a hand as if he owned the very air. It was a world of viva la vida loca, of black cats and voodoo dolls, mostly in the form of the superstitions that follow the suddenly wealthy. But beneath the surface, the premonitions were starting to stir. He remembered the chaos of family life and luxury. Cassandra, always the voice of reason, complaining about Damien's latest antics. "Ralph, you've got to have a word with Damien. People are complaining," she had said, her face flushed with embarrassment. "Oh, no. What's he done now?" Dell had asked, secretly proud of his son's spirit. "He's just weed in the swimming pool." Dell had laughed it off then. All little boys do enjoy a splash in the swimming pool, don't they? "Yes, Dell," Cassandra had replied through gritted teeth, but not from the top of the 4-meter diving board. He was a little git, as Rodney often said, but he was a trotter, and for a while it felt like the Trotter name was written in the stars. They talked about Uncle Albert, who was enjoying his retirement on the coast, living in sin with Elsie Partridge. Old Uncle Albert, he'd love it here, Rodney had mused during a quiet evening by the ocean, right next door to the sea, just like the war. "Yeah," Dell had agreed. "At least we haven't got to sit through the Battle of the Baltic every night, during the war. during the war. But then the tide turned, not with a roar, but with the quiet tap of a keyboard. It turned out that negotiations between the Central American countries had collapsed. Dell explained to Justin, the pain evident in his eyes. Yeah, it was wiped out. Every penny. Nicked the lot. The transition from Mr. Potter to that bloke who owes us for the minibar had been instantaneous. They had paid for the hotel on a credit card, a card that was withdrawn before the ink on the receipt was dry. But Derek is, if nothing else, a very creative businessman. Rodney told the interviewer, a hint of genuine respect breaking through his usual cynicism. He came up with a solution to our dilemma. Up there, Dell had shouted, pointing to a flight path that would lead them back to the reality of Peckham. The news hit the UK faster than a rumor in the Nag's Head. Suddenly, their business associates weren't returning calls. The penthouse was gone. The peacocks were gone. They were cast into a financial wilderness, returning to the only place that would have them, Nelson Mandela House. Chapter 3, The Trial of Friends. The return to Peckham wasn't just about losing money, it was about the fallout. Their friend Mike Fisher, the landlord of the Nag's Head, had invested his life savings into the Trotters' venture. He had remortgaged the pub, betting everything on Del Boy's sure thing. Now, Mike was in prison, awaiting trial for embezzlement, a desperate attempt to recoup the losses. Never was a man more innocent, Dell insisted to the interviewer, his voice cracking. The scene shifted in Dell's mind to the courthouse corridor. The air was thick with the scent of cheap floor wax and anxiety. Denzel was pacing, his footsteps echoing like a ticking clock. For God's sake, Denzel, sit down. Albert had said, the memory of his voice sharp and clear. You're wearing the marble out. I can't, Albert, can I? Denzel had replied, I've never been a character witness before. I'm worried. I think those made a terrible mistake, having us for as witnesses. It's like inviting the Manson family to dinner. Trigger, ever the enigma, had looked up from a crumpled newspaper. I'm going to tell them I hear voices. No, Trig, Rodney had sighed. You're not on trial. You're a character witness. I know, Trigger had said simply, but I hear voices. It had been a disaster. The Trotters lost their homes. Dill's estate with the peacocks became a dream that was auctioned off to pay the interest on the interest. Every day there was more rows, more bad news. Dell told Justin, we thought things couldn't possibly get worse. Oh, boy, how wrong we were. Chapter 4, The Empty Chair. The blow that hurt the most wasn't financial. It was the call from Elsie Partridge's son. Uncle Albert was gone. The funeral was a blur of black coats and the biting cold of a London winter. Dell felt a profound sense of guilt. They had been off globetrotting while Albert had been in a rest home, his wartime stories falling on the ears of strangers. I feel bad, you know, Dell whispered to Rodney as they stood by the hearse. leaving him here on his own while we was all off in Barbados. He wasn't on his own. Rodney tried to comfort him. He had Elsie's family. But the funeral itself turned into a classic Trotter farce. They stood among the mourners, listening to tales of a man named Bunny who was a hero in the RAF. Why did you call him Bunny? Dell asked a grieving relative. Well, that's what they called him in the RAF, didn't they? Because his surname was Warren. Dell froze. He looked at the coffin. He looked at the headstone. Ooh, Dell whispered, his face turning the color of his beige coat. We're at the wrong funeral. They had spent an hour mourning a complete stranger. It was the kind of moment that would have made Albert roar with laughter, or perhaps start a story about the time he buried a Commodore in the wrong hemisphere during the war. Chapter 5, The Gold Rush. Back in the present, the weight of the inland revenue hung over them like a guillotine. 48,750 for pounds. That was the magic number, plus interest. So, what are we going to do? Then, Dad, Damien asked, his young face mirroring his father's stubbornness. I suppose you could always look for a job, Raquel suggested gently. Trigger said they're recruiting down at his depot. Road sweeping. The thought of Rodney the man with to G.C. East bushing a broom was too much for Dell. I'm a trader, ain't I? Dell declared, his eyes catching the light of the flickering television. I've been trading all my life. I could sell rice to the Chinese. He had a plan. He was going to become the manager of a new firm. Since he was disqualified from running a company, he would make Rodney the managing director. Rodney Trotter, Dell beamed, the new face of Trotter's independent traders. You'll be in charge of sales, purchasing, and finance. I'll just be the consultant. But the debt remained. And then the flickering screen provided an answer. Gold Rush, the fastest game show on TV, hosted by Jonathan Ross. I'm going to apply, Dell said. Rodney laughed. Dell, last night one of the questions was who introduced the potato to England, and you said King Edward. I didn't hear the question properly. Dell snapped. But he did it. He got on. The night of the show was a fever dream. The lights were too bright, and Jonathan Ross's suit was even more expensive than Justin's. Dell stood there, representing fine wines, the theater, and 16th century Italian Renaissance art. He sailed through the first round by pure luck. Kilimanjaro. Yes, because Fuji made cameras. He was moving up the Rainbow Road. Then came the moment, the 50,000 pounds question, the penalty question that could save him or sink him. Which classical guitarist wrote the opera The Child and the Enchantment? Was it Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Dole's mind went blank. He used his SOS. He called Rodney. Back in the flat, Rodney and Cassandra were dressed as a policewoman and a gladiator and attempted fantasy therapy that had gone horribly awry when Dell unexpectedly stayed home. When the phone rang and Jonathan Ross's voice came through. Rodney thought it was Mickey Pierce winding him up. "Oh, piss off, Mickey, you're getting on my tits now," Rodney shouted. But it was real. "Rodney, help me." Dill's voice pleaded through the speaker the guitar question: Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Rodney, with the confidence of a man who had once heard a record in a library, answered, "Ravel, 100% Dell." "Ravel," Dell shouted to the nation. "Derek," Jonathan Ross said, a look of genuine pity on his face. That was the wrong answer. It was Segovia. Dell's heart didn't just break, it imploded. He had lost. He had lost the money, the flat, and his dignity on national television. Epilogue: The Trotter Way. Back at the flat, the mood was funeral quiet. Dell was missing, having disappeared into the night. When he finally returned, he looked older, tired. "I could have sworn it was Ravel," Rodney muttered, looking at his feet. "Everyone knows Ravel makes shoes." Dell exploded, though there was no real heat in it. It was a trick question, and you fell for it. They sat in the dim light of the living room, the reality of bankruptcy settling in. They were back at the bottom, but they were together. Then the phone rang. "Hello," Rodney answered. "Yes, can I ask who's calling?" He handed the phone to Dell. "It's the producer of Gold Rush." Dell took the phone, his face hardening. "I bet it's about that podium. I bet someone's damaged it." "Hello. Yes, this is Derek Trotter." Dell listened. His eyes widened. His jaw dropped. "What? No, no." He looked at the family, his face transforming from despair to a manic, golden joy. "He said there's been a mistake," Dell whispered. "It was Ravel. The researcher got it wrong. I've won the 50,000 pounds. The room erupted. Cheers, hugs, the sound of champagne, or at least the promise of it, filled the air. "I knew I was right," Dell shouted, his voice regaining its Peckham swagger. "Give the money to charity. Pull the other one. It's got bells on. We're the Trotters, and we're back." As he looked out over the balcony at the twinkling lights of the estate, Del Boy knew that the seasons had changed once again. The tide was coming in, and this time he was going to catch it. This time next year, Rotters, he started. "Don't," Rodney laughed. "Just don't." Del smiled, adjusted his imaginary lapels, and looked toward the horizon. Kushti, the Peckham Phoenix, a novelization of the Trotter Chronicles. Chapter 1, The Yellow Ghost of Peckham. The yellow three-wheeled Reliant Regal then rattled through the streets of Peckham like a skeletal remains of a decade everyone else had tried to forget. On its side, the faded lettering still defiantly proclaimed, "Trotters Independent Traders, New York, Paris, Peckham." It was a lie, of course. They had been to Paris briefly. They had never been to New York, and Peckham was currently trying its best to pretend they didn't exist. Derek Del Boy Trotter sat behind the wheel, his rings catching the stray glints of a London sun that looked like it had been filtered through a greasy chip wrapper. He was humming the theme tune to his own life, a melody of seasons changing and tides turning. "I'll fetch the suitcase from the van," he muttered to himself, a mantra of the perpetual salesman. Beside him sat Rodney. Rodney, the graduate with two GCs and a brain that was currently a chaotic blender of existential dread and marital anxiety. Rodney was looking at the dashboard as if it were a ticking bomb. "What's up with you, Rodney?" Dell asked, his voice a gravelly mix of concern and irritation. "You look like a man who's just found out his lottery ticket was for last week's draw." "I'm a bit nervous, Dell," Rodney admitted, his voice cracking slightly. "This bloke we're going to see, this Justin, he's a documentary maker, right? He's not going to be asking me anything personal about my private life." Dell swung the van around a corner with the grace of a shopping trolley in a hurricane. "Of course he ain't. We're not that private, are we? We're public figures, the Trotters of Nelson Mandela House. But what about, me and Cassandra, our hiccups?" Dell rolled his eyes. "He's not going to want to know about your little problems in the bedroom department, Rodney. Though, strictly speaking, if you're having hiccups in the bedroom, you're probably doing it wrong." "I told you that in confidence," Rodney hissed, his face reddening to the color of a ripe tomato. "And I'm keeping it in confidence," Dell shouted back. "I'm not going to be telling him about jiffins and what Cassandra wears. I've got more class than that, mostly." Chapter 2, The Interrogator. Justin was the kind of man who wore spectacles not because he needed them, but because they made his expensive degree look even more expensive. His office was a minimalist vacuum of white walls and overpriced Scandinavian furniture. He looked at the Trotter brothers as if they were a rare species of beetle that had accidentally crawled onto his silk tie. "Sorry to keep you waiting," Justin said, his voice dripping with the practiced sincerity of a BBC middle manager. "It's been a particularly busy morning. Now, I've got all the basic details about your business career, the watches, the bottled water, the pre-war lead soldiers. But what I'd like to do is to get an insight into the real you." Dell leaned back, crossing his legs and adjusting his tie. He felt at home. Give Del Boy an audience and a chance to rewrite history, and he was more dangerous than a shark in a tuxedo. "How you started, how you became so successful," Justin continued, leaning forward. "But more importantly, your lives and your raison d'etre." Dell blinked. "Oh, no. Laboratory Garney. I don't use that stuff. It's all natural, this hair." Rodney groaned into his hands. "He means reason for being, Dell." "I knew that," Dell snapped. "I was just checking if he did. Right then, Justin, where shall I start? Up to a few years ago, we were just very ordinary people living very ordinary lives, weren't we, Rodney? Rodney gave a hollow laugh. Ordinary. Del, our childhood involved hiding from the rent collector behind a sofa that was technically also being repossessed. Details, details. Del waved a hand dismissively. And then, as you know, one day I discovered an historic and almost priceless artifact. A watch. A Harrison Lesser watch. Found it in the back of a garage. It was like a sign from the gods of commerce. Chapter 3, The Golden Age. For a brief, shimmering moment in the mid-90s, the Trotters had been kings. The novel of their lives had transitioned from a gritty social drama to a glossy jet-set thriller. Anyway, Del continued, his eyes glazing over with the memory of pure, unadulterated wealth. At first, we didn't know what to do with it. We thought about donating it to the British Museum as a national treasure. We really did. We felt a sense of duty to the crown. We thought about it for exactly 3 seconds, Rodney corrected. And then we decided to flog it. Del grinned. 6.5 million quid, Justin. Can you imagine that? 6.5 million of the Queen's finest nuggets. We divvied the dosh up, making sure our Uncle Albert got a nice little drink, bless his old seafaring soul, and we thought of others. We donated to charity. Enormously, of course. We bought a round of drinks for the whole Mag's Head, Rodney whispered. That was our charity work. It felt like a charity, Del insisted. Have you seen the state of Trigger? He needs all the help he can get. So, eventually, we had to start thinking about our future. We sought out a city stockbroker, a man with a tie thinner than a strand of spaghetti and a brain like a calculator. He advised us to invest in a new and vibrant venture, a Central American market. Del stood up, pacing the small office. It was attracting massive funds from all over the world. We were making more money than the Royal Mint. We weren't just flat. Justin, we were ascendant. Chapter 4, The Fall of the Empire. The flashback in Del's mind was vivid. He remembered the heat of the Caribbean, the smell of expensive sun cream, and the feeling of a platinum credit card in his pocket, a card that felt like it had the power to stop the rotation of the earth if he swiped it hard enough. He remembered Raquel, his significant other, looking like a movie star in a wide-brimmed hat. He remembered young Damien, the fruit of his loins, playing on the deck of a yacht. He remembered Rodney and Cassandra, looking like they finally belonged in a world where the wine didn't come from a box. And then the music changed. It wasn't a sudden explosion. It was the sound of a phone not ringing. It was the sight of a computer screen flickering with red numbers that shouldn't have been there. She's into superstitions. The radio had been playing in the hotel lobby. Livin' La Vida Loca. It turned out, Del said, his voice dropping an octave, that negotiations between the Central American countries had collapsed, wiped out. The market didn't just crash. It evaporated. It was like someone had pulled the plug on the ocean. We'd even paid for the hotel on a credit card. Rodney added, the ghost of the trauma still visible in his eyes. A credit card which was withdrawn while we were still at the breakfast buffet. I was halfway through a bowl of exotic fruit, and suddenly I was an international pauper. Dell nodded solemnly, but Derek Trotter is, if nothing else, a creative businessman. I came up with a solution. We had to leave. Fast. We ran, Rodney said. We literally ran for the airport while the concierge was still looking for the bill. Chapter 5. The Financial Wilderness. The return to the UK was not met with a ticker-tape parade. The news of the Trotter collapse had traveled faster than a Peckham rumor. How long did it take for the news to hit the UK? Justin asked, scribbling notes furiously. About as long as it took for someone to push a button on the internet. Dell sighed. Suddenly, all our so-called business associates wouldn't return our calls. We were cast into a financial wilderness. It was like the desert, but with more rain and less sand. And then there was Mike. Rodney reminded him. Dole's face darkened. Mike Fisher, the landlord of the Nag's Head, a man who had seen the Trotters as his ticket out of the pub trade. Mike invested his life savings in our venture, Dell explained. He actually remortgaged the pub. He's in prison now, awaiting trial. The fraud squad claims he tried to recoup his losses by embezzling the brewery. Never was a man more innocent. He confessed to everything, Dell, Rodney pointed out. He was under duress, Dell shouted. The pressure of the brewing industry is immense. The narrative shifted to the waiting room of the court. The atmosphere was thick with the smell of cheap coffee and the nervous sweat of Peckham's finest. Denzel was pacing, wearing the marble floor down. Uncle Albert was sitting there, looking like a weary old owl. Trigger was. Well, Trigger was staring at a wall, possibly having a conversation with his own shadow. Trig, if I go in there and tell the truth, Denzel had said, Dell and Rodney are going to be spending the next 5 years sharpening Jeffrey Archer's pencils. I'm going to tell them I hear voices, Trigger had replied, with the terrifying sincerity of the truly confused. Chapter 6. The Wrong Side of the Grave. The funeral of Uncle Albert should have been a moment of dignified sorrow. Instead, it was a master class in Trotter-esque absurdity. The family stood in the biting cold of a coastal cemetery. Dell was genuinely heartbroken. Albert had been their anchor, the man who had survived the Battle of the Baltic only to be nearly killed by those cooking. I feel bad, Dell whispered to Rodney as they stood by the grave, leaving him here on his own while we were off globe-trotting. We should have taken him to Barbados. He didn't have a passport. Dell, Rodney reminded him. He thought the Germans were still looking for him. They stood amongst a group of strangers, A woman named Marion was crying. A man named Roland was complaining about Albert's wartime sagas. God, he did go on, didn't he? Roland sneered. Never bloody stopped. The John Wayne of the East End. Dell's blood began to simmer. It reached boiling point. He stepped forward, his eyes blazing. You've got to remember that a lot of blokes lost their lives for our liberty, just so that 50 years later, prats like you would have the freedom to knock them. You want to go outside and have a chat. Roland? Calm down. Dell, Rodney pleaded. It was only when the young boy, Damien, looked up at a passing plane and asked if it was a Spitfire that the reality hit them. Wait a minute, Dell said, looking at the headstone. Bunny. Why did you call him Bunny? Because his surname was Warren, Roland said. Albert Warren. Raff. The silence that followed was heavy. Rodney, Dell whispered, his face turning ashen. We're at the wrong funeral. Oh, let's go. Rodney hissed, grabbing Dell's arm. They fled the cemetery like grave robbers who had forgotten their shovels. Chapter 7, The Phoenix Arises, sort of. Back in Nelson Mandela House, the grandeur of the millionaire years felt like a dream someone else had had. The flat was cramped, the wallpaper was peeling, and the Inland Revenue was knocking on the door with the persistence of a woodpecker on a metal pole. The court declared me bankrupt, Dell announced to the family. But don't worry, I've worked it all out. I'm a trader. I could sell rice to the Chinese. The firm's been liquidized, Dell, Rodney said, sitting at the kitchen table. Disqualified, Dell corrected. I've been disqualified from running it. That doesn't mean the company is dead. We just need a new managing director. Someone young. Someone enthusiastic. Someone with to GCEs. Rodney looked up, a glimmer of hope or madness in his eyes. Yes, you, Rodney, you can take over Trotter's independent traders. Legally, there's nothing to stop you. You're clean, mostly. And so, the new era began. Rodney Trotter, managing director, Dell took a back seat, or rather, he sat in the front seat and shouted directions while Rodney tried to drive. They were back in business. They were trading again. The goal, $48,750 for pounds. That was the debt. That was the mountain they had to climb. Chapter 8, The Golden Ticket. The idea for Gold Rush came to Dell like a divine revelation during a late-night session of channel hopping. It's a game show, Rodney, Dell shouted, bursting into the living room. Jonathan Ross, you can win 100,000 quid. It's the fastest game show on TV. Dell, you think King Edward introduced the potato to England? Rodney said flatly. I didn't hear the question properly. Dell insisted. I've worked it out. I'm going to apply. This time next year, we'll be millionaires. Again. This time last week we were millionaires, Cassandra pointed out from the kitchen. But Dell was already filling out the form. He wasn't just a bankrupt salesman from Peckham anymore. In his mind, he was a Renaissance man, a lover of fine wines, the theater, and 16th century Italian art. He was Derek Trotter, and the world hadn't seen the last of him. Chapter 9, The Brunei Connection. The telephone in the Trotter household was a fickle instrument. Sometimes it brought news of a consignment of hooky VCers. Other times, it was just the electric company wondering if Dell intended to pay his bill within the current century. One evening, as Rodney was trying to maintain a facade of managing director gravitas, the phone rang. Trotter's Independent Traders. How may I help you? Rodney said, his voice an octave deeper than usual. Good evening, a voice responded, accented and dripping with importance. I am wishing to speak with managing director. This is he, Rodney said, puffing out his chest. My name is Rodney Trotter. I am representative of the Sultan of Brunei, the voice continued. Rodney's heart did a little tap dance against his ribs. He looked at Dell, who was currently trying to clean a fake Rolex with a bit of spit and a rag. Dell, it's the Sultan of Brunei. Dell stopped rubbing the watch. Yeah, and I'm the Pope's golf partner. Give it here. But Rodney was already hooked. How may I be of assistance, sir? His Highness has seen your advertisement in the newspaper. He would like you to fly to Brunei and be his consultant. Rodney's eyes glazed over. He could see it now. Gold-plated yachts, silk robes, and a world where duty-free wasn't just a suggestion. Consultant. On what, specifically? Recently, the voice said, suppressed laughter starting to bubble through the accent, His Highness bought a crappy old three-wheeled van, and he wants to know how to start it on cold mornings. The line exploded into the unmistakable, high-pitched cackle of Mickey Pierce. Rodney slammed the phone down. I knew it was him. I was just winding him up. Dell shook his head. Rodney, you're about as good at winding people up as a sundial in a coal cellar. Get back to your paperwork. Chapter 10, Fantasy Therapy. Rodney's marriage to Cassandra was, in his own words, a series of minor hiccups in the bedroom department. To address this, Rodney had turned to the modern equivalent of a witch doctor, a lifestyle magazine. It's called Fantasy Therapy. Cass, Rodney explained that night, his voice hushed. This expert in America says our troubles stem from memory baggage. We need to become different people, reborn. Cassandra looked at him over the top of her book. Different people. Do I get to be someone who lives in a house without a yellow van parked outside? No, it's about iconoclastic autosuggestion. Rodney insisted. We write down our fantasy figure, and for one night, the other person becomes that figure. No dressing up required. It's all in the mind. All right, Cassandra sighed. I'll try anything to stop you talking about memory baggage. They wrote down their choices. Cassandra handed her slip to Rodney. He opened it and blinked. The bill. You want me to be a copper? Just a position of authority. Rodney, she said, a mischievous glint in her eye. Rodney's own fantasy involved a certain gladiator, or maybe a heroic figure from a film he'd seen recently. He didn't say it, but he had a plan. The next evening, the plan went horribly wrong. Dell burst into the flat to find Cassandra dressed in a full policewoman's uniform, complete with a baton and a look of professional disapproval. Rodney, on the other hand, was standing there in a leather tunic, looking like he'd been rejected from a low-budget production of Spartacus. "Oh, my God!" Dell shouted, nearly dropping his bag of takeaway. "I thought we were being raided. Cassandra, I didn't know you'd join the force. And Rodney, what are you? A Roman centurion with a vitamin D deficiency. It's a fancy dress party. Dell," Rodney yelled, his face turning a shade of purple that matched his tunic. "We're going to a party. My ex-boss at the bank invited us." At 5:30, Dell asked, skeptical, "A bit early for a rave, isn't it?" "It's an early party for people who have to be up for work." Rodney grabbed Cassandra's arm. "Come on, Reg Hollis. Let's go before he starts asking for our badges." Chapter 11, The Lights of Gold Rush. The BBC television studios were a labyrinth of cables, tired security guards, and the smell of industrial-grade hairspray. Dell stood in the wings of the Gold Rush set, adjusting his suit. He told the producers he was a connoisseur of the arts. He'd told them his hobbies included fine wines and 16th century Italian Renaissance art. In reality, his knowledge of fine wine stopped at anything that didn't have a screw top. And the only Renaissance art he owned was a framed picture of a crying boy that he'd bought at a car boot sale in 1984. Welcome to another edition of the show that is taking the country by storm. The voice of Jonathan Ross boomed through the speakers. This is Thursday. This is live. This is Jonathan Ross, and this is Gold Rush. Dell stepped onto the stage, his smile fixed, his rings gleaming under the studio lights. Beside him were his competitors, Mike Wallace, a financial advisor who looked like he'd swallowed a lemon, and Janice Scott, who seemed genuinely terrified of the cameras. And finally, Ross announced, "We have Derek Trotter from Peckham." Derek is a businessman who lives with Raquel, his significant other. His pastimes include fine wines, the theater, and 16th century Italian Renaissance art. Dell gave a thumbs up. "Lovely jubbly. Jonathan, just happy to be here for the culture, you know." Chapter 12, The Rainbow Road. The game began with a flurry of questions. Dell's finger was poised over the buzzer like a predator waiting for a slow-moving gazelle. Whose famous diary recorded the plague and the Great Fire of London? Ross asked. Dell hit the buzzer. Mrs. Dale's. The studio went silent. Ross blinked, Nice try, Del. But I'm afraid that's not right. You're frozen now. Eventually, through a series of fluke errors by his opponents, Del found himself as the first challenger on the Rainbow Road. He stood in the center of the stage, a 1-pound coin clutched in his hand, his guaranteed prize. Whatever else happens, that's yours, Ross said. Just make sure it ain't Irish, Del quipped, winking at the camera. He breezed through the early rounds. He knew Kilimanjaro was in Africa mostly because he'd once tried to sell a crate of T-shirts with the mountain printed on the wrong side. He survived a challenge from Janice. The money climbed. 10,000, 25,000. And then the green question. In which state was President Kennedy born? Del hesitated. He remembered the news footage. He remembered the tragedy. Well, when he was assassinated in 1963, he was in a terrible state. He died. I need the name of the state, Del, Ross urged. Texas, Florida, or California? Del sweated. He used his shot in the dark. Florida, he shouted. No, Ross sighed. It was Texas. But you played your shot, so you're still in the game for the penalty question. Chapter 13, The Ravel Debacle. The penalty question was worth 50,000 pounds. If Del got it right, he'd move to the final gold question for 100,000. Which classical guitarist wrote the opera The Child and the Enchantment? Was it Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Those brains stalled. Classical music. He was a man of the people. He liked the theme from Z Cars and anything by Tom Jones. He needed his SOS. He needed his brother. My brother, Rodney, Del said, he's a graduate to GCEs. He knows his classics. Back in the flat, the phone rang. Rodney, still in his Spartacus tunic, answered it. Hello, Rodney. It's Jonathan Ross. Oh, piss off. Mickey, you're getting on my tits now. Rodney yelled. Rodney, it's not Mickey. It's the BBC. Your brother is on 50 grand. Realization hit Rodney like a bucket of cold water. He listened to the question. Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Ravel. Rodney shouted into the phone. I'm 100% sure, Del, it's Ravel. Del, back in the studio, looked at the camera with the confidence of a man who had just been handed the keys to the Bank of England. It's Ravel, Jonathan. My brother knows. He's got the brains in the family. Are you sure, Derek? Ross asked. You don't have to take his answer. No. Rodney's spot on. Ravel. The buzzer sounded a long, agonizing drone of failure. Derek, Ross said, his voice filled with genuine pity. That was the wrong answer. It was Segovia. Del's face fell. The 100,000 pounds vanished into the ether. What? But Rodney said he's got to GCEs. Chapter 14, The Return of the Conqueror Not. The journey back to Peckham was long and silent. Dell walked through the door of the flat to find Rodney and Cassandra waiting, still dressed as a gladiator and a policewoman. "What happened?" Rodney asked, his voice small. "What happened?" Dell exploded. "What happened is that you're a dipstick, Rodney. That's what happened. Everyone knows that Ravel makes shoes. It was a trick question, and you fell for it." "Shoes?" Rodney stammered. "Ravel wrote Bolero. I don't care if he wrote the Bible. He makes shoes in the Peckham High Street. You lost us 50 grand. The argument raged until the phone rang again. It was the producer of Gold Rush. "Hello. Yes, this is Derek Trotter. What? No. Really?" Dell turned to the room, his eyes wide. "There's been a mistake. The producer says it was Ravel. Segovia was just the guitarist who performed it or something. They've checked the facts. I can have the 50,000 pounds and come back on the show next week." The room erupted. Rodney cheered. Raquel cried. Even Cassandra hugged her prisoner. "See," Dell shouted, his voice reaching a crescendo of triumph. "I knew I was right. I knew the Trotters were back." He grabbed the phone again. "Yeah. Well, I tell you what we're going to do. Give all the money to charity. Yeah. And if you phone here once again, I'm going to come down there and kick your arse into shredded duck." He slammed the phone down. "Dell!" Rodney screamed. "What did you do that for?" "Because," Dell said, a sly grin spreading across his face, "that wasn't the producer. I could hear the jukebox at the Nag's Head. That was Mickey Pierce again." He sat down, exhausted but undefeated. "Don't worry, Rodney. This time next year, we'll be millionaires." And in the heart of Peckham, for the 1,000th time, they almost believed him. Chapter 15, The Morning After the Morning After. The following morning, Nelson Mandela House felt like the setting of a hungover Greek tragedy. The adrenaline of the gold rush debacle had dissipated, leaving only the cold reality of the Inland Revenue's interest rates and the lingering smell of Raquel's burnt toast. Dell sat at the kitchen table, nursing a cup of tea that was mostly condensed milk and desperation. He was staring at a pile of bills as if he could intimidate them into paying themselves. "Rodney," Dell barked as his brother shuffled into the kitchen, looking like a man who had spent the night sleeping in a tumble dryer. "Where's the inventory for the new stock?" Rodney groaned, rubbing his eyes. "Dell, it's 8 in the morning. And technically, since I'm the managing director, shouldn't I be asking you for that?" Dell let out a short, sharp laugh. "Managing director? Rodney, you're the only managing director in London who still gets an allowance from his older brother. Now, where is it?" "It's in the van." Rodney sighed. "But it's mostly those unbreakable umbrellas we bought from Boyke. I tried one this morning. It snapped the second a light breeze hit it." Dell didn't look up. "That's because you don't know the technique. Rodney, you have to open them with finesse. They're not umbrellas. They're aerodynamic sunshades. It's all in the marketing. Raquel entered, Damien trailing behind her. The boy was wearing a t-shirt that said Future Millionaire, a gift from Dell that currently felt like a cruel joke. Dell, we've had another letter from the council, Raquel said, her voice weary. They're asking about the arrears again. Dell stood up, smoothing his waistcoat. Don't you worry about the council. Sweetheart, I've got a meeting this afternoon with a very influential business associate. Top-level stuff. Is it Trigger? Rodney asked, deadpan. Dell paused, his hand on the door handle. He might be in the vicinity, yes, but that's irrelevant. We are the Trotters. We've been down before, but we always bounce back. Like those rubber balls that never stop. They're called Super Balls. Dell, Rodney corrected. And eventually, they hit someone in the eye and get confiscated. Chapter 16, The Nag's Head Resurrection. The Nag's Head was the spiritual home of the Trotter Empire, a place where legends were told and where beer was served at a temperature that could only be described as room adjacent. As Dell and Rodney walked in, a hush fell over the bar. It was the kind of silence usually reserved for a funeral or a surprise inspection by the health department. Trigger was at his usual spot, looking as if he hadn't moved since the mid-70s. Denzel was nursing a half-pint, and Sid was behind the bar, polishing a glass that looked like it had been used to store gravel. All right, Dave, Trigger said, nodding at Rodney. It's Rodney,